My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. (7:47 a.m. is Omnitrans, license 1302444. Monitoring with the Ontario Fire Department, and you have AMR as I start recording right now. License plate 3944 C3, substantially similar. License 6XAJ403, monitoring with AMR 6MEA337. And you have AMR that starts their sirens as they are crossing path with me. All right, so they're driving east on Plum. They've already crossed the street where the traffic lights are. As they're monitoring what I'm doing on my phone, so as I start recording, AMR is already driving by. They just turn on their lights and their sirens as you hear it. All right, and the sirens stop after they cross path with me. All right. It is currently 7:50 a.m. FedEx crossing path, which I took an image of, hovering over the B&G Plaza. And the state is engaging in the pattern of maintaining a light source. That is, Satan remains present. Covering up a fake sun is the same presence of what is a fake sun over me. When you are placing that which is not actually the sun over me at 9:57 in the morning, and in direct conflict with that actually being the sun on any day in any way, and that is speaking to not only the absence of the actual sun, that is a light source, that is speaking to an ongoing system, as I have already documented. Let alone you have the placement of the state's fake sun. For example, as I documented the demons of the Fontana Police Department, that fake sun was hovering directly over me. That is Satan itself hovering directly over me, while those minions of the Fontana Police Department were stalking in relevant position in their police vehicles. And you also saw that as I got on the internet, which I took a screenshot of, I took images and video of, the moment that I got on the internet, Satan itself, not the actual sun, after 10 o'clock in the morning, which is the absence of any light source supposedly over the Ovid Family Community Library, by the way, at 9:57 in the morning, you have what is the state shining its fake sun over my head at the Fontana Metrolink train station. All right, this is an ongoing pattern of conduct, and the light source is not going anywhere. Covering it up is the maintenance of the light source. That is Satan exercising control over the environment. All right, Omnitrans is monitoring with the Ontario Fire Department and the state that's hovering by aircraft. I want to be clear. It's monitoring with the people of the state, but that's how the entity is engaging. The Ontario Fire Department sounds sirens driving from Sultana to Hope Boulevard while Omnitrans is approaching. Omnitrans remains at the bus stop right here at the B&G Plaza, creating light activity. And then you have, as I get on my phone and begin documenting on my podcast, AMR, that is already stalking in the path. You're talking about what is visibly engaging in crossing path to use its sirens and lights to engage in the facilitation of that criminal conduct. These are demons engaging in what is stalking with light and audible activity. All right, it's currently 7:52 a.m. This is P.O.C. at the B&G Plaza. And as I speak to the ongoing ubiquitous presence of that which is a fake sun, the state engaging in what is revealing more light in the environment in real time. Okay, the fake sun is not going anywhere. It's a fake sun, period. And I've already documented this before. License 8YFF737, 5WNP821, 8YUU129, 8YLW282, 7PRZ041, 989NZ handicap, 7SUZ503, 7HCW259, 8JKG546, 8JZH603, 8KBY573, GREYSEA 6LES102. It's 7:53 a.m. 8ZAS 662. License 9F17094. That's Bake Mark. That's a large truck. License 65616V1. BGU 985, 7XXF 662, 8G XY 665, 4XX7 484, 7PMS 320, 8HBV 947, 7JB, I can't really see that one. And it's currently 7:55 a.m. 46102F3, that's next gen pacing, 6JQD 170, 7 U.S.P 684, 5 YSK 114, 8 LGS 171, 6P YN 025, and next gen pacing in that this vehicle already crossed path, so you're talking about what is pacing as you're identifying a single actor. This is a commercial actor just driving back and forth, stalking path repeatedly, like Ryder does. And Ryder did again this morning. 6 CDR 264 514 9421. 6 TRX 869 6XL X211, please. 1829 and 2. 6R44121, 1421, 142717, 14271J2, I believe. Trying to see that one clearly. 8EXX404, 7EBE545, 8CTV 269, 8ZTA577, California Conservation Corps. CCC, that's 149511, substantially similar. Again, that's California Conservation Corps. It's 7:56 a.m. You also know, again, by virtue of my just using an illustration of showing what is not possibly the sun, a fake sun, and revealing what is demonic activity as Satan itself is present in the environment around you, as I'm showing you what is hovering over me, it's not the actual sun. That's not the sun that's over that Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue, obviously. 8HCH515, 7CJM890, because the state is then placing in direct departure from that as I remain at that Starbucks, which is just a single example. 8SSK463 of what is ongoing stalking with light, which is demonic, which is what AMR is demonstrating, that's what the Ontario Fire Department are demonstrating, demonic activity, demon possession, while they're engaged in interstate stalking. So the fake sun being over the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue at 7:35 in the morning on January 27th, remaining present at 8:31 until after 10 o'clock in the morning, is speaking to that which is not possibly the sun, as it is aiming over 630 North Fern at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how you know that's not the sun. The documentation already exists. 8JMV86, I can't see that one. 8SUL378, 8MQL591, 029, I can't see that one. 97269H2, 94835S2. The objective is light presence and ongoing activity creation, audible activity. 7GHW363. And so you have what is, again, like I documented, those psychopaths that are affiliated with the address at 323 West G Street, sitting around in the middle of the night, aiming light, impossible light being aimed into the car. 5HWB344, 8CNC492, 8Y79202, 8WFR692. This is done on a massive scale, as what is not possibly the sun is remaining present over me on an ongoing basis. All right, so you are not, the actual sun is not over me, for example, using Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue as a very vivid example. And then also it's over my head, north of that location, remaining over 630 North Fern, as I've already documented. No, that's not the sun. That's like being over the Ovid Family Community Library at 9:57 a.m., as I show you on video, but also at the same time, at the exact same time where I am facing south and I'm going toward the city of Pomona. It's over my head at the same time. No, it's not. 8RTL951. You see that fake sun over the B&G Plaza while I'm on the bus going to the city of Pomona. Not even at the Ovid Family Community Library 48 hours ago now, but 24 hours ago yesterday. Okay, I remain at the Starbucks and then I go to Pomona. That fake sun's not over my head at the same time at the Ovid Family Community Library. That's ridiculous. It is where it is, where I'm showing you 6KEX685. 92145M1. So you're talking about, as I'm revealing Satan, as I'm revealing criminal conduct, Satan is very much indeed present in the environment, covering up the sky space, which is the absence of the actual sun, covering up the fake sun, which is Satan exercising control over the environment, while I'm revealing Satan's presence, is the P.O.C. 60142F1. That does not stop. The P.O.C. doesn't stop. 9727 6K2, excuse me. 8XMP649, 6FPH 842, 8RVE171, T188KO, 7TAR057, 6DOU685, 7MBP219, 8RQA913, 7PGW095. It's 8 a.m. License 8LDH552 90658F2 6S. I can't see that one. 899. I can't see that one either. You could scratch that. Omnitrans bus number. Let's see. 2268 or 1268. I can't see that one. 7NHZ712, but that is Omnitrans that's going westbound on Hope Boulevard right now, crossing path at 8:01 a.m. Central Transport, U.S. 661173. That's a large yellow truck. 2200244 is the number on the back of that truck. The logo, the company name is called Central Transport. TSJ or 8STJ431. It's 8:02 a.m. JIM 246, I believe. 7MZE001, 8NFL 807, 7MRU 567, 8HXT 157. And those are the same demons heavily documented, the demons of the city of Ontario. 6EIU 671. Group stalking under the fake sun as I sit on the bench outside of the library after 12 p.m. as I documented days ago. And they're group stalking now. As you hear that audible activity while I'm reading these minions' license plates, they're monitoring together. License plate 4XXD009. YEV128. City of Ontario 1564986. That's a white utility vehicle, number 5569. And the dumpster truck is in the parking lot of B&G Plaza. 7BJC. I can't see the rest of them. 8NVZ491. Western Allied in the parking lot as well. License plate 6ZS 0062 7EBU 172. Western Allied, California 0051560. License 93394B3. KT 7399, 7TKJ 166, 8FNF 648, I believe. 3DTV 712, 7DCY 749. WJ H940, United States Postal Service crossing path 8WNV120, 8UBK392, 8LQR, I can't see that one, 8MEY383, 8LFK261, I believe, 8KRL730. Got a demon driving a school bus, license 11200733, Ontario Montclair School District, 8CNZ 843. BGZ 928. 8TTH 692, and it's 8:06 a.m. $130TW handicap. $7PHP 958. 7CHN 363. 31801P1 7RLB 211. I can't see that one. 1544464, Ontario Montclair School District. 8BDK 064, 1560780. Excuse me. That's the City of Ontario in a dumpster truck. Demons. $8EMW 998. ZATZAY, I believe. License 8YCB128 904Z or 1904Z, I believe. Handicap. Security paving. Crossing path. What you also know about what I've already documented is this is not possibly the sun, because you're also recalling what is time of year analysis, which is what you're going to use when you're understanding what is stalking, what a fake sun. But you're understanding what is nothing other than what is Satan that is present in the environment, engaging in criminal conduct through a government and through a people. And I've been documenting it for a term of years. All right. And so you have what is the state that was keeping its fake sun at this time of year when I was sleeping at the museum. What was the state doing, as I showed? The state was keeping a fake sun over me as I would wake up in the morning at the Ontario Museum of History and Art, which is an entirely opposite direction of being anywhere near 630 North Hope. Or the Starbucks, 6 P.O.K. 532, 7 FMU 571. So you have what is not only worrying about day to day as I'm pointing out what's not the sun, but year to year as I'm pointing out what is not the sun. 7 SOL 147, 7 LRC 990. And while you are over the 630 North Fern venue, that is not hovering over the Ontario Museum, over the portion that I'm sleeping at, following as I would go to the 150 East Holt building, and then as I would go to the B&G Plaza or to the library or Stater Brothers parking lot, which is the Ontario Village Shop, wherever it is that I would go. 7 MBY 384, this is already documented. 7 RUC 194, 7 XET 659, 8 URW 994, 8 GEM 006, 5 BBV 646. And then you have what is placement, for example, over a Starbucks at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard, where when I get on the bus from the B&G Plaza, even a year ago, the state's fake sun is remaining in my window coming from this location, just like I show you now, 4Z PG 613, but these are coming from what are mutually exclusive positions centered over my head, being the focus of Satan itself and Satan's minions. License 8 JVL 685, 6YDZ 579, 8 G91147, 8 VEB 831. And the state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza at 8:10 in the morning. 7 JWF 477, 8XJT 420, ALLME 16, 99590A3, 8TKT 758, 0925. I can't really see that one. 8XWV 171, I believe. And so while, for example, last year the state keeps a fake sun over me as I get up in the morning at the Ontario Museum of History and Art, but yet this year, same time of year, and I go to Pomona and you have what is the light source that's remaining over me. That's the ongoing clear evidence. That's direct evidence of what is the P.O.C. Ontario police are group stalking on Hope Boulevard, driving east and then turning north onto Plum Avenue. Directed light is covering the street. The state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza. It's 8:11 a.m. License SNDYRED. Omnitrans approaching. This is license plate 32938S1, Rancho Foods. 89140A2, 86586W2. And H&M McCoy. License 6UJJ387. License 6VOR194. License 8JGE998. License 6EHP712. License 6RZS848, 6YXP279, 8M I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 8TZW744. All right, the minion you see getting on the bus of Omnitrans, bus number 1326, license 1370397. This minion engaging in ongoing surveillance, sitting at the bus stop and monitoring with Omnitrans and the people of the state. But I want to be clear, they're also on surveillance camera. This is a Latino male with a black beanie on and a backpack. He's on surveillance cameras, engaging and monitoring the entire time, and getting on right now at 8:13 a.m. CA09V96 paper 16747L2. And again, that Omnitrans bus is license 1370397, bus 1326. They're all monitoring on that bus, but I'm just identifying a group stalker that's engaging in surveillance with the state and then gets on the bus, 7LKF791. And that's the ongoing system in operation. The seamless manner in which minions engage in sexual violence, 7PWJ663, 7KPU290, and engage in criminal conduct, surveillance. License BS 860 or D09, that's paper, 8HWF 923. KNY 283. 5DBR 645, but I can't really see that one. 6ZPJ 773. 5SPB 344, I believe. 6J, or I can't see that one. 6XBX 229. I can't see that one either. 8AJU 992 39600U2. 8DRM 673 V2070, I believe. It's at 8:15 a.m. ATBC 973, 7DGB 823, 8ZKB 160, 5MYC 414, 7EOU, I'm sorry, 7EOE. Oh, I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 7LJA 318, and it's 8:16 a.m. 8XBT 829. License 059, I can't see that one, 7DZK 629. Let's see, 7HC0186, 7H00186, substantial summary, that's Student Transportation of America. You got your little Spanish-speaking demons pacing in the parking lot, communication device in hand, monitoring. 5ESU638, and those are the type that you send out of the country. You deport them back to wherever their place of origin is if they're not even American citizens, upon being documented engaging in surveilling an American citizen and terrorizing one. 5J10000, 8DLB875, 8MMW627, 7B45882, 8FED335. License 8VZC519, 24045J1, 8PFN 868, 7KXR 826 1290106. 8WFZ 684. This is coming from B&G Plaza. License plate. 7KQM 496. 8VBA189, 23573H3, 4YXK, I can't see the rest of them, 8WLG190, 7SAY 684, 6519553, 7YGD873, 5JSG 895, 8DFF260, 8JBG 947, 8FFB 581, I believe, substantially similar. I can't really see that one. 1407 501, Ontario Montclair School District. $6702-1D1, 7MZ. I can't see the rest of that one. 5MOR008, 7ARH773, 8JJX079, 5ESU638, leaving B&G Plaza. That's the one that needs to be deported, very likely. It's 8:21 a.m. License 8UVY138, 52331J2, 8XMR643, 7FPK697, 57544M2, looks like Amtrak using a large coach at what is Holt and Plum. It's 8:22 a.m. License 46351 is the number on that coach. Can't see the license plate, but that vehicle number is 46351. $0229-7U2. Demons at Andy's Burgers, waiting in a drive-thru. On foot, not in a vehicle. They're waiting in a drive-thru, and then as I come across on the sidewalk, then they close their little drive-thru door, their side door, and the demon that is monitoring using Ryder. This looks like an African-American male in operation of a communication device. Dark gray hoodie that says Nike on it, an orange undershirt and blue jeans. Communication device in hand while he looks like he's sweeping, but he's got that communication device in his hand. All right, license plate. Ryder is license plate. Let's see. And you see that African American, you hear that helicopter activity? Has nothing to do with race. License plate 25808B1. Ryder's creating light activity using its hazards on the side of the Andy's Burgers. This is the maintenance of activity while I'm sitting at the front portion. Ryder's license plate 2730358. Can I help you? Did I say something to you? Am I threatening your safety? While he's walking around the truck. This is P.O.C. All right, I'm showing you what is that African-American male. He is the one that walks out of Andy's Burgers through the drive-thru. And keeping this truck with the hazards on the side of Andy's drive-thru upon my arrival. It's been here for the entire time. And that is since it's approximately 7:30 in the morning. And as I walk toward the sidewalk where I show you, for example, the fake sun over the drive-thru of Andy's Burgers, you have what is a Ryder that is maintaining presence and also crossing path on the street as well. But Ryder maintaining presence, monitoring with Andy's Burgers, and then those demons walk out of a side door where the drive-thru is, and that's that African-American male that I was describing. At the same time, you hear helicopter activity, and he's approaching me talking about, excuse me, did you said Ryder? So what? I said Ryder. So what? And while he's crossing path, walking all around that truck with hazard lights on, you hear the state-sounding helicopter activity. That's P.O.C. License 02297U2 remains in the drive-thru monitoring with these commercial actors. Puritan Bakery is present. All right, and this is, let me be clear, a black-faced demon engaging in targeting with law enforcement. So let me draw a picture for you. When I'm describing minions that are crossing path, including the Ontario Police Department, they don't have to come drive by me on Holt Boulevard. They are pacing around, driving onto Plum, driving onto Lemon, and crossing path by going on to halt as well, while rider is creating facilitating light activity. Omnitrans creating facilitating light activity. The demons whose license plate I'm reading, using their brake lights and their headlights. This is all the ongoing maintenance of the elements of monitoring, and doing so regardless of any race. This is demonic activity, so I want to be clear. This is the maintenance of light in the environment while I'm at the B&G Plaza the entire time, and it is through what is rider, who has been loitering in a relevant position, and I captured an image of that African American who was carrying a broom in their hand, engaging in what is again, appearances though they're engaged in something else, focused on something else, but also not coincidentally engaging in what is visible presence in the path at the moment that I arrive to that portion of the drive-through. Crossing path with a communication and device. You can grab a broom all you want. All right, you can carry bread into Andy's Burgers all you want. You're doing so while you're engaging in a demonic system of stalking with presence, stalking with light. And that is rider, I want to be clear. This white, lily white old woman over here at Brian's Automotive, monitoring with rider. California Conservation Corps is over here monitoring. This is 8D85935. This old white woman is using that license plate. Hazards of 4ISSIE. That's at Brian's Automotive in California Conservation Corps license 1391250. All of them are monitoring. That's why you also heard helicopter activity. Okay? It is currently 8:26 a.m. 8Z47699. 5YXY344. And this is Brian's Automotive 6H68086. That's P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 8:27 a.m. And that's understanding what is facilitation, how you engage in stalking with light using commercial vehicles. License 25808B1. That's Puritan Bakery's license plate. All right, running into their tow truck, license 03708E2, license 7KUD373, and Dietz Towing, license 9427803. All of these demons understand the dumpster truck, City of Ontario, Western Allied, all of them. The United States Postal Service, while the state can cover up its fake sun all it wants, while Satan covered up with fake clouds, first of all, it remains present. And these demons are maintaining light and monitoring to that ongoing activity creation by all of that which I've already documented. That's how an ongoing system is operating. So you're understanding what was the maintenance of light. 25909Z1. All right, while I sit at the bus bench. You got a demon making a U-turn while you hear that plane activity in the middle of the street. They're making a U-turn in the middle of the street. This is pacing, using the reverse lights as light activity. They have their headlights on while they make a U-turn, just jumping out to get into their car to create that light and move around with light. They're psychopaths. This is the conduct of the objective with light, with what demons do. And that's 5XUZ610. That's not that license plate. I'm going to get that license plate right now, but I want to read these. 8MAF571, 8AWC381. And I did capture images of all of that with regard to rider being driven by an African American that is a black-faced demon, engaging in targeting conduct with law enforcement, with the fire department, with American Medical Response, right? 7NJD196. And this one, this demon that hops into their vehicle to move it around real quick, 7XBN179. That's not that light split, but I'll get that one in a second. This demon that hops in their vehicle to move it around in the street, which is the creation of light activity and relevant positioning, while you also hear plane activity. That is the ongoing concerted conduct. That demon's license plate, affiliated with B&G Plaza, 8WTV893. Alrighty, it is currently, by the way, 8:29 a.m. 41038G1, 5WBE534, 04949A3. And 7NJD196 is remaining at the, I'm sorry, I already read that license plate. This one, I'm on transit reading these license plates. So I'm documenting all the license plates that are in a relevant position representing third parties, and all the ways in which the elements are being maintained right at the back of the plaza with light activity. That's rider. 8WIH333, 8LQT966. 7TQT803, 7VOS809, 8P12439, 8DNH483, 7E2J965, 8SFP020, 8EZT189, 8ATY395. Pay attention, again, you're understanding what is the focus that third parties are actually admitting that they have on me. Because I said the word writer, I could have, you don't know the context, you don't know what I'm talking about. I could have been saying anything with regard to the word itself, writer. This minion is monitoring and paying very close attention to what I'm saying and knows exactly what I'm doing. That's why he's stalking with presence. Not coincidentally walking in the drive-thru in order to cross path with his communication device in hand and then going and grab a broom like you're focused. That's a demon. 7DAV443. And because I say the word writer does not mean I'm talking about the truck that you're driving as a means of monitoring. By the way, just want to point that out. License 16691V2, 6TUM326, while the state is flying over black aircraft. Took a picture of that. You can see the plane flying over while this demon is sitting in their vehicle, being a demon, using the reverse lights coming out of a parking spot in alignment with me. The plane above the building of Oscar's Barbershop inside of the B&G Plaza, and you see the vehicle that is a means of stalking in the path with light while the state is amplifying that plane activity. That's demonic conduct. And they are monitoring with communication devices with Ryder, okay, and Puritan Bakery, all right, and City of Ontario, all right. License 3VOH145 is now leaving. They're sitting in the parking lot engaged in surveillance this whole time. It's P.O.C. That's a psychopath that sits around stalking and listening to somebody breathing, listening to me press the phone on my screen, all right. P.O.C. Again, that's 2730358. A black-faced demon has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. They're demons. They don't even have their own lives. Demons are entirely focused on well, not everyone else, focused on me, but you're entirely focused on another. That's an entirely pathetic existence. 8NAW862. XP36465, DOS Logistics. 67525G2, 7RFT082, 7DGA595. Stater Brothers 62048L2. Stater Brothers 17645F2. That's what the inferior are consumed with. Ones that's not a part of this camp. And they're inferior because they're demon possessed. All right, Satan has them. 52311M2. 8RRA237. 8PMV247. 47194P2. You're going to understand what Amtrak was doing as well. 8EMM413 or 8EMW413. As Amtrak crosses path and I read that vehicle number, monitoring with that light activity, 7CTM670, 8XBW419, but I can't really see that one that clearly. Crossing path on Plum is a means of crossing path while light activity is being created. 7DGA595. Light activity by third parties such as Brian's Automotive, such as Ryder, all right, and the tow truck that parks on C Street. All of that I was documenting while I was sitting on the bus bench as well. License 7KMT006. So as Amtrak crosses path at that moment, understand it is based on what I am doing. As I am moving, Amtrak is nothing but a means of relevant positioning. Crossing path while the maintenance of light activity is being created by Ryder that I document as I approach that corner and document what is the means of light activity creation. License 6WSM972, and you literally have what is, it's as though I'm documenting, and then the state will be, oh wait, there's the helicopter, so you're sure about what you're documenting. 8LOF480, 4RPG 894, 8ALY279, 8UNY371, 8MVL108, TMASTER, 8WTX551. There are no masters that are puppets of Satan. 8JUX168. They are slaves, okay? They're slaves of darkness, and they lose. There are no masters, there's no kings with regard to being puppets of Satan. License 6YGY037. And you certainly aren't mastering anything while you're being documented and engaging in criminal conduct. 7KQL678, 3TH935. License 7WAU 725, 8DGV 744, 5ZQW 767, 8LLN 921, 7AVD 785, 8FWA 202, 7VCD 299. It's 8:36 a.m. Bird-Tech crossing path. You hear the state amplifying plane activity. Bird-Tech is stalking in the path. License plate. Vehicle number 1816. License of Bird-Tech Waste Management 70284H1. Lopez is driving. Let's see, L7LVB462, 5UMM876, 7LZR077, 8SQD813, 8ZTC736, 8YYC488, 58279J1, 83934H2, ISHH, VOG785, out of state 01979N2, and Omnitrans loitering at Lemon and Holt, 8LLK412, primary care, license 6313072. $8RMH971, 7JXF565. And that's Omnitrans bus number 2354, and it's 8:37 a.m. D, it's towing. The license plate already read. 94278D3. Crossing path. They were already crossing path inside of B&G Plaza, parked on Transit. Hi. Hey. It's 8:38 a.m. 7UHF083, 8AGS505, 6RTW401, 03260P2, 8KVN586, 4N, I can't say that one, let's try that one. Let's see, no, that's 37995M2, 5VHN080, 7MUS553. 8:39 a.m. I'm on the opposite side of Hope Boulevard now, walking west. These are third parties that are driving west on Hope Boulevard. 8FJU065. It's like Vector. Vector's crossing path on Euclid Avenue, driving south on Euclid Avenue right now at 8:39 a.m. Showing you what is stalking in the path by Amazon Prime, loitering in a relevant position at a red light, stalking in the path at as I'm walking on Lemon and Holt. Amazon Prime is at Euclid and Holt Boulevard. I captured that image at 8:40 a.m. License plate 72010Z2, 8ZKN221. License 08410N2, 8TCE525. 43582, AL4508, substantially somewhere, that's U-Haul with the Arizona plate, 4MIN221, 8RTA909. All right, capturing video of what is the fake sun that remains over me, and understand that this is revealing what is demonic. This is Satan that is present in the environment and not the actual sun, and that's how you have if you're listening in the state of Texas or in the state of Arizona or in on the East Coast somewhere, and you're looking in the sky space and you see a sun, you're understanding what is not possibly the sun. We're not sharing the same sky space while a light source is hovering over me where I remain all day long, in conflict with the documented presence of where that supposed sun, and so you're understanding what is not the sun over me, and you are also witnessing the supernatural because the light source over you is the presence of Satan itself, and that's the reality. And understand what Satan is doing. Satan is engaging in what is using people who surround you, and these are the demon possessed. And demon possession is very, very common. It's not some extreme circumstance of somebody that had an extremely abusive childhood. That's not necessary. You're talking about what is a spirit. You're talking about what is present through the environment. You're talking about what seeks to be, and that is Satan itself, to maintain inconspicuous presence and influence in your everyday life through the people and through the environment. And this has nothing to do with what is global warming. While you are looking at what is necessarily more than one light source, that's more than one sun. All right. And how is this occurring? That impossibility. All right. First of all, it's not the sun as you know it. You're talking about what is the maintenance of presence through what is Satan in the environment. And as Satan is exercising control over the environment, you're understanding what are the narratives that you're given with regard to the reason why, such as global warming. Okay, that is speaking to and disregarding what is common sense as you're witnessing my documentation itself, not possibly the sun. So what is this that you're witnessing? I'm revealing to you what it is. That impossibility, that supernatural conduct that you're witnessing is Satan itself that's hovering in the sky space over me as I'm documenting it, and it's relevant to you wherever you are. All right, license 4TYF 938, 7KNW 402, 5MRU 359. And that is a terrorism that commercial actors such as FedEx hovering over me in a commercial airline plane, Amazon Prime crossing paths with me, engaging in this criminal system of surveillance with the government, all of them puppets of Satan. All right, and you're talking about the revealing of that ongoing environment. That environment is present for a criminal purpose, a criminal objective. All right, and this is also revealing what is a fallacy of some free society in the United States. All right, 7ZJN190. It's currently 8:45 a.m. and I did capture that video of what is the light source that is moving from B&G Plaza, because I'm moving from B&G Plaza. All right, and it is that which is never going to be actually present if that was actually the sun anyway, as I remain at Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue just days ago. 8RIH 747, ISHH crossing path again. All right, stalking at Holt and Plum, and just crossing path again right here at B Street and Lemon. 7EKG 736. And that is literally what is ongoing when you are understanding the environment and the condition of those in that environment. They're demons that are engaging in an obsessive stalking. They're not going about their business. They're not doing anything else. That's the ongoing P.O.C. while you're in direct light and under a fake sun, by the way. These are demons engaging in heavy duty stalking. All right, it is 8:45 a.m. It's P.O.C. Ontario Town Square, creating audible activity, 7EKG 736, pacing. All right, so I took images right now so you can see, first of all, what is amplification of audible activity while the state flies over where I'm standing, which is the 280 North Lemon Apartments, not flying over the B&G Plaza, hovering over there anymore, and amplifying that activity, 8TOX 649. The leaf blower that you hear is audible activity. It's a maintenance of activity as I'm in movement. All right, demons maintain noise, they maintain light, they maintain presence while the state, that is Satan itself, hovers over me with light. 8BZS 176 901208A1, and I did capture images of that. The entity flying over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, a senior citizen community, amplifying plane activity, focused on where I'm located as that which is the fake sun remains over me. 6JDW 421, 8JYY 579. 4MYE 347, and that's McCarthy. That's not McCarthy's license plate. That's McCarthy that you hear in the background. What you're going to recall also, what I documented, is the maintenance of a fake sun that would be necessarily at the same time while I'm showing you today at 8:40 a.m. You're going to remember when I'm already on the bus of Omnitrans going to Pomona, okay? But like I said, it's also that which would necessarily be over my head in the opposite direction, which again, that's not possible. I'm showing you what's supposedly the sun as I'm facing it. It's over my head, all right, as I'm leaving the B&G Plaza. I also documented the maintenance of the fake sun at 630 North Fern at 8:48 a.m. All right, you're going to recall that. And that is the maintenance of a light source, not the actual sun, the presence of Satan itself. All right, and just showing you what is that ongoing conflict, that ongoing impossibility. That impossibility is actually occurring because that is Satan itself, and these are demons engaging in presence on behalf of that. These are puppets, okay, literally minions that are engaging in what is criminal conduct that has been made manifest. When you're understanding that environment and you pay attention to your environment, and you're also going to understand what are demons not only in that environment. Demons engage in a very specific code of conduct. They stalk with noise. So stalking, the definition is following around. Demons follow with noise as you move, as you engage in conduct on a communication device on the internet, for example, because the criminal activity is that which is of surveillance in violation of Title 18. All right, they are monitoring you with communication devices, and they are monitoring your activity on communication devices. And demons engage in stalking with noise. Demons engage in stalking with presence. You'll notice somebody coming out of the blue where you didn't see someone there prior, and they do so also coincidentally every time that you engage in some sort of activity, some sort of new movement. As minor, it does not matter how minor it is. All right, and you pay attention to that. Those are demons. All right, that it's not only the demonic environment that they're in that's letting you know that demons surround. You're talking about what is the conduct of the demon possessed, which is a signature of that stalker as well. And then you're just paying attention to what is a psychopath, which is what Satan is. Satan is a psychopath. And you're talking about what is the conduct of psychopaths, acting as though they're engaging in something else, they're consumed with something else, that they're not concerned about you. This is the whole construct of that system. This is how it operates. And you're going to pay attention to what is Satan that's hovering above your head. The directed light that surrounds the demonic conduct of those third parties and or state actors, which is ongoing terrorism, while you're placed under surveillance. All right. And that's the reality, and that's how you're understanding and documenting and becoming aware of what are demons that surround you while you are being placed under surveillance. That's the purpose of what is not an actual sun, while Satan itself is keeping tabs on you, monitoring American citizens. That's what's relevant in the United States, because it's in violation of our Constitution, of our individual rights, all right? And it is totally out of proportion with what is supposed to be the business of the government itself, engaging in conduct which you are unaware of, and then feeding you false narratives about what's going on around you, what's going on around in our world, while they're engaging in this system, and it is entirely malicious. All right, it's currently 8:50 a.m. and I am at Ovid Family Community Library now, where the state follows with its fake sun. That is, as I showed you, I'm standing at the intersection of Lemon and Holt, and I'm showing you the fake sun that's over me. As I continue to walk north up Lemon, the state moves its fake sun. So then I see it over Metro 102 apartments as I continue walking north. The state's fake sun is here now, all right? And so that is the ongoing P.O.C, and it's not going anywhere. I've already documented this before, all right? This is, it's 8:51 a.m. This is ongoing maintenance of activity by Clean Street. Those demons revealed themselves 7XSY494 Clean Street, creating light activity. It's just another company name, a demon driving another company vehicle, engaging in state surveillance on behalf of the government, creating light activity. It's the same thing Ryder is doing inside of the B&G Plaza with hazard lights. Doing so in that intentionally maintained environment, all right, under what is not possibly the sun. But also I documented Clean Street while that demon was in that vehicle, engaging in stalking and directed light, appearing on the street. You can remember that documentation. This is the same demonic activity, and this is P.O.C. It's 8:52 a.m. So let me tell you about what's funny about these lily white women. I've already shown you this before. For example, when I showed you the fake sun over the Ovid Family Community Library at 9:51 a.m. These minions that are standing here in relevant position are crossing path, meaning they're walking by as though they're focused on the structure side. Oh yeah, I really think, oh yeah, we could do that. Oh my goodness, that would be lovely. Oh yeah, we could do that, pointing toward the building of McCarthy that they're building with their communication devices in hand, while the state sounds helicopter activity. Demons, okay? It does not matter what race they are, but I love to use that example because it's a vivid illustration of Satan in operation. These lily white, demon-possessed psychopaths are stalking me. I'm an African-American woman. I'm living in a car right now. That's my economic status. That doesn't define me, and I have no shame. There's nothing that I've done precipitating to that. I've gone to law school. I go to college. You don't just lose all of that. You're talking about what is documenting a government engaging in the surveillance. They are stalking me, monitoring with communication devices with McCarthy, their form being focusing on the construction site, while the state is sounding helicopter activity, while they are crossing path. That is understanding demonic activity. All right, it does not matter what these demons want to act like they're focused on. Like I said, Enrique's income tax, that overweight minion with frizzy hair, all right, and cankles, can step outside and water the plants all she wants. She did so while my shadow was surrounding my person, while the light poles outside have shadows going in opposite directions. You're understanding what is the environment that demons are in and the conduct of what a psychopath. That very conduct is going to result in what is the prosecution and ending up in what are straitjackets, because that is the mental disconnection, that is the delusional and entirely threatening conduct of what are very, very disturbed individuals acting collectively. These are demons that surround. And so you're going to prosecute them with the very mentally disturbed conduct that they're engaging in, okay? And that's exactly what those lily white demons were doing right now, and I took images of that. All right, walking around, you can wear a cloak, you can be carrying a briefcase, you can hold up your phone and engage in any sort of professional speech that doesn't confuse me. All right, I'm highly educated. There's nothing that you're doing that's over my head spiritually, or whatever it is that you're articulating that a demon would have you be distracted by. They're not engaging in anything but the P.O.C. All right, it's currently 8:59 a.m. and the state's fake sun did indeed follow to this venue, and the state sounds helicopter activity while those demons cross paths, and then they walk back, and I take more pictures of them as they stand next to me again. While they are monitoring as I go from camera to podcast. Demons all the way, okay? That's understanding the pattern of conduct. That's understanding demons. And it does not matter what race those demons are. It does not matter what those demons are wearing. It doesn't matter what those demons want you to focus or think that they are focused on. The environment and the ongoing pattern of conduct. And again, where the pattern of conduct is established, the pattern of conduct doesn't take a pause. So you don't have some professional that's some exception. Oh, they're not monitoring. I don't think so. Satan remains in the environment in a light source and via directed light, via psychopaths that are stalking with noise, via amplified audible activity, via the state that's stalking by plane and helicopter. All right, it's currently 8:59 a.m. P.O.C. Clean Street 7XYS494 is pacing around the building, cleaning the parking lot. Okay, of Ovid Family Community Library. That is the maintenance that's a demon that's pacing around, creating light activity and audible activity. Right, that's engaging in surveillance by Clean Street, which I also document on the backside of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's what those minions are doing while they are appearing as though they want to be focused on some construction site with McCarthy. They can be focused on, they could be on the job doing whatever. I'll prosecute you with regard to the means whereby you are engaging in the P.O.C. That's how that works. It's no distraction, it's no departure from the ongoing pattern of conduct. And they're monitoring with the demon of Clean Street, who is acting with them while that demon is literally pacing around the property with that vehicle, cleaning the parking lot of the Ovid Family Community Library. And doing so to create light activity and pacing all around. All right, Clean Street's not acting by themselves, but I'm just speaking to what is the ongoing, understand the concerted activity by the entity that's maintaining elements, light activity and relevant positioning to engage in monitoring with communication devices. It's 9:01 a.m. All right, I do capture an image of, this is an old white man, an old dirt bag, an old bag of bones, whatever you want to call it. This is Satan. And this third party comes in and to engage in just maintenance of and gibberish, all right, which is audible activity. And doing so, monitoring with McCarthy. McCarthy, this is wearing their bright orange jackets, comes and walks in the path by crossing path, leaving from the construction site, crossing path on the sidewalk right here. That's the same conduct of demons that drive in the circle at the turn circle. It's a means of crossing the path. While this demon is maintaining what is gibberish as his audible activity, just speaking a bunch of numbers. Oh, you know, you're a child of God. You're a product of evolution. It doesn't mean anything. He's just creating noise while he does so. While I happen to be uploading my podcast onto the internet. And so anyway, like I said, I want to document that. That's presence and the maintenance of audible activity. And this demon is monitoring with McCarthy, who one of its employees come and cross path on the sidewalk and then walk back to the construction site area. Does so while this is the ongoing maintenance of activity while I'm on the venue of the internet uploading my podcast. So I just want to document that. And that's the significance of the images I took as this old white demon-possessed geezer. Is engaging in what is the maintenance of monitoring by just approaching and say, oh, can I take your picture, which is positioning of his communication device while he's engaging in an ongoing incessant rant of gibberish, which is audible activity, and monitoring with McCarthy. It's 9:10 a.m. and it's P.O.C. So, okay. It is currently 1:37 p.m. I did capture what are still images. This is Officer Guerrero, documented engaging in the pattern of conduct on prior occasions. Present today with 2 other officers who are in relevant position. I remain subject to surveillance. The P.O.C. is underway. They're standing in directed light. Okay. While Guerrero, who is supposed to be what is a friendly face, he represents the same threat, law enforcement, here to communicate a threat while the pattern of conduct is underway, and it is the same criminal summoning. And you have what is the use of his body cam. So I want to document that he is present. It's 1:38 p.m. right now, and so they are present on surveillance cameras where I'm sitting inside of the library on the first floor. And I also want to be clear, this is not only the pattern of conduct. Understand, this is a demon that I'm encountering that's wearing a law enforcement uniform. All right, this is multiple layers of understanding what is terrorism. They are present under what is not the actual sun that remains above the Ovid Family Community Library entrance. All manner of terrorism and surveillance is underway, and then you have what is pursuant to criminal summoning, coming and stating things such as, "You're not in trouble," which is no comforting statement. First of all, I'm being monitored. All right, this is the malice of which the entity is engaging in a P.O.C. The law enforcement are here pursuant to what is criminal summoning while the pattern of conduct is underway, and while I am in violation of no law, including while documenting what is the ongoing criminal activity on behalf of a government. And let me be clear, Ontario Police represent the government. And so what I did go through and document on this Officer Guerrero's body cam, as he stated that he turned it on. All right, and so I used that body cam as a means of documentation, speaking to what his legally unfounded bases to be present while I'm being subject to surveillance. So understand, he's engaging in criminal conduct and then present pursuant to what is the summoning by this venue with whom law enforcement are monitoring together, and present engaging in what is seeking to give me, quote unquote, advice. Let me give you advice. Let me be clear. Let me translate that for you. This is a demon that is representing law enforcement. That's a communication of a threat. Okay. And second of all, when you're dealing with the entity in what is their alternate universe, and let me be clear, that alternate universe is gone. All right. The Ovid Family Community Library, they are going to federal prison. All right. I'm not talking about the building. I'm talking about the minions that fill this venue. Whoever it is that's clocking in, they work here. I already have documentation by virtue of that, who they are, and their positions that they hold, the time schedules that they work, who is present, engaging in what is false allegations, engaging in what is corroborating, which is fictitious information, to engage in what literally you just have demons just hopping on. Oh yeah, I saw her too. Oh yeah, all of the demons hop on the lie together, and then they engage in what is the P.O.C. Hello, this is Securitas in relevant position. Is there anything? What does that mean? Oh, I'm talking loudly? Okay, got it. Monitoring me to my own volume, okay? But anyway, that's the same minion that is stalking in the bathroom. So I want to be clear, the entity engaging in what is relevant positioning through Officer Guerrero, the African-American officer, I documented his presence on December 27th, 2021. On podcast, and I believe I got his name as well, where I was being subject to federal stalking in the bathroom by the Ontario Police Department. And you see the demon that is walking around in directed light in front of the bathroom, while this same officer that is, sorry, not an officer, she's a minion representing Securitas, comes in the path while she's in directed light telling me to lower my volume while she's monitoring to every word that I'm stating. My voice is audible activity in directed light, and standing in the path and telling me lower down the volume is a means of the P.O.C., by the way. So anyway, these are 3 officers who are present, and on that body cam worn by Officer Guerrero, where he is leaving my presence at 1:38 p.m., going upstairs on surveillance cameras, arriving, stalking with activity, literally as I get onto a website in order to request publishing my podcast on another platform. This is when this officer, who was already present, all right, they're engaging in loitering in relevant position. Demons that, for example, sit around in a parking lot waiting for the moment to use their vehicle as a means of light activity, audible activity, acting in concert with the state that's surrounding in the environment with plane or helicopter or Union Pacific. It's the ongoing environment. This officer arrives in stalking with activity as I begin entering information, which is activity on the internet, and it is also that which is contrary to what the entity would have me to do, which is further publishing my podcast. But anyway, I want to speak to what is that threat, and this is also criminal summoning as the Ontario Police via Officer Guerrero. And I want to be clear also some of the main points that I spoke to on his body cam, which is a means of documentation that's going toward what is federal prosecution as to what is criminal summoning. That is a terrorizing threat while the entity is present, pursuant to what is hostility to being documented, engaging in what is the pattern of conduct conduct and also the sexually violent pattern of conduct. While you have what is, by virtue of waging false allegations, you are speaking to what is knowledge of the exact thing that I am documenting. Okay, and doing so as you are then engaging in criminal summoning the demon-possessed law enforcement agency, that is the Ontario Police Department in the City of Ontario, to engage in what is ongoing intimidation and harassment while the P.O.C. is underway. And so Officer Guerrero arriving today, today is, again, February 1st, 2022, and speaking to me, and every point that he is making is contrary to the interests of this entity that's engaging in P.O.C. And this is, again, not approaching, but essentially, because I don't have to have any exchange with him. I can just let this minion talk and find out what he's there for. He's just dancing around in circles. He's monitoring me. And his excuse for engaging in personally monitoring me by being in my face and speaking to me as, oh, I just came and, you're my buddy and I want to give you a warning. There is legal significance with everything that is going on. His identity, the words that are coming out of his face, the environment that he is in, and the reason for why he is here. Criminal summoning, you are law enforcement, you're a demon-possessed stalker, and you are communicating what is audible activity, speaking contrary to my constitutional and human rights, which is don't document. All right, while you are engaging in surveillance, in a bathroom. Listening, let me be clear, Officer Guerrero monitoring while my panties are up and or down with the same minions who are patrolling in that bathroom that is filled with directed light. I don't even need to get the minions' feet in the bathroom, okay? The directed light is there. I have this in substantial video, and I continue to remind you about that, all right? That is your sex offender, period. Where directed light is present, you're understanding you are subject to surveillance. It is impossible light activity. It is light that is engineered light. It is demonic. You are surrounded by not just sex offenders, demon-possessed sex offenders who are also under the age of majority, which is what the government and the people of the state are engaging in. So, like I said, back to addressing, you have what is communicating a threat by Officer Guerrero. I want to give you a warning and, on prior occasions, and let me be clear, Officer Guerrero present pursuant to criminal summoning at Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, which is exactly what I stated on his body cam, where the fake sun was over that venue exactly as I documented. While he was present, and by the way, while I'm documenting that is the absence of any fake sun above the Ovid Family Community Library, like the state engages in while I'm at the library. Okay, you have what is Officer Guerrero present for criminal summoning while I am subject to this P.O.C. on September 20th, 2021, while the fake sun was remaining over this venue. And then while I engaged in going to Upland, a grand departure from being anywhere present over the Ovid Family Community Library and remaining over me as I go from Ontario to Upland and remain at the Upland Public Library. That's how I'm able to capture that. Presence over the Upland Public Library is the absence of any light source over above the Ovid Family Community Library, 280 North Lemon Apartments, as though the sun is setting and rising in the morning there. That's the P.O.C. And so you have the absence of any credibility by this officer going by the name of Guerrero, present with two other police officers in directed light. These are demons. All right, engaging in the communication of a threat on behalf of psychopaths who are engaging in this criminal activity, which they are squarely surrounded with the evidence of that, including as they engage in what is criminal summoning. You are going to federal prison, period. You want to engage in, which you see, that's a pattern of conduct. It's not just me. I'm speaking to what is the necessity of that legislation and how you're going to treat such demons. The Ovid Family Community Library is full of people that are demon-possessed people who are going to federal prison. All right, you're talking about what is a venue. You're talking about what is an ongoing pattern, trying to intimidate. You're not going to intimidate your way out of federal prison or documentation of me or any other American citizen that is subject to the system. Satan itself is hovering over the sky space while the Ontario police are inside of this venue while I'm documenting them on their body cam, which I will use to prosecute. All right, that was Officer Guerrero leaving at 1:37 p.m. And speaking to what is the municipal code, which state surveillance and terrorism is in direct violation of. It is irrelevant while criminal conduct by government is underway. It is also pursuant to what is referencing unsubstantiated allegations, nonetheless by demons who are engaging in stalking in bathrooms where directed light is present. All of it is incredible conduct, all right? And you have what is the incredible speech of a minion wearing a police uniform, all right? So I want to be clear, that's present on the surveillance cameras inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, leaving from my presence at 1:38 p.m., speaking to what is complaints, which are, this is the textbook P.O.C. Oh, we got complaints, which is very vague. And the complaints are coming from who? The demon-possessed third parties who are maintaining presence in this venue. They're doing nothing but stalking and maintaining presence. That's why the Ontario police who are here in directed light have the same pacing light activity of their shadows. Impossible light. Your shadow is not pacing in front of you, continuously jumping in front of you. They're demons, and they're absolute psychopaths, monitoring and hostile because they are surrounded with the evidence of that. Okay, there is no light bulb in the ceiling that's creating that light activity, that's creating upright shadows on walls from a distance, that's creating shadows on both your left and right, that's creating shadows that are repeatedly bouncing up in front of you to maintain presence in front of you as you're walking. All right, there is no sunlight that's reaching into the depths of the Ovid Family Community Library, especially as I remain in the city of Fontana, for example, or while I am at the Upham Public Library. But that is what the entity is doing with that which is not possibly the sun. This is Satan itself, and these are minions. And I want to be clear, this is documentation of criminal summoning again, yet again, subject to what is harassment, subject to what is ongoing targeting and intimidation, and this is in concert. The demons of the Ontario Police Department holding hands with the demons of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, both the employees and third parties that are here engaging in surveillance because they have nothing else to do. They're sitting in the library stalking all day long. All right, it's currently 1:49 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the Ovid Family Community Library. This is going toward what is federal prison. Like I said, there is a zero tolerance with regard to the government that wants to intimidate, that wants to engage in waging false allegations. These are the devices of, again, kidnapping, of what is harassment, seeking to intimidate and deter, which is a documentation of a government that's placing you under surveillance in violation of your constitutional and human rights. It is the pattern of conduct. This is the same chicanery, all right, which is, it's no small thing, but this is the same nonsense of an entity lacking any credibility while Satan itself is hovering in the environment. That's not the sun that these psychopaths are under. All right, and you're talking about what is directed light. That's not even normal light activity. You are an entire psychopath. All right, and then you want to engage in relying on what is the form of normal society. This is not normal society. That's not normal conduct. Surveillance is underway. Satan can be hostile to being documented all at once. Satan will be thrown into federal prison. This is Ovid Family Community Library again, engaging in criminal summoning today on February 1st, 2022. And while I'm on here, let me remind you about what the entity was doing with the fake sun, what Satan was doing February 1st, 2022. While you remember, again, this is time of year analysis. Yesterday, when the state's fake sun is over me at 9:57 a.m. in direct conflict with being anywhere over me while I'm remaining at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue, and then I continue to Los Angeles County to Pomona, same time of year analysis applies. Not only is that not the sun based on where I was located and the direction I'm facing, the sun is not both over my head while I'm facing east at Starbucks, and it's also over my head behind me at the Ovid Family Community Library. That's nonsense, okay? It is ridiculousness. And so you're talking about what is in plain view, the direct evidence of what is surveillance, and you're witnessing Satan in the environment directly over me while I'm being targeted, okay? Not only do you have this documentation, you're going to recall I go to Pomona, all right, and this is what I'm documenting. So you have what is, and I'm referencing 48 hours from yesterday. That's why I was speaking to. This is clearly not the sun, 9:57 a.m. above the Ovid Family Community Library. And why is it there? Because that's where I am. All right, and that's what happens with a stalker. You're following where I go. Indirect conflict with what would be the natural order of things if that was the actual sun. I wouldn't be able to capture it. It would be remaining over Starbucks, right? And I wouldn't be able to capture it on video while I'm facing south on the bus of Omnitrans, not going to the Ovid Family Community Library, going to Pomona at the Pomona Transit Center. But let me be clear, time of year analysis is also applicable, and this is what I reminded you of on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. On this day, 365 days ago at 4:50 p.m. while I remained sitting outside of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is documentation of a molestation, the ongoing terrorizing threat, while Satan itself at that time, not anticipating what is a prolonged period of what is documentation revealing what Satan is doing, revealing what is criminal conduct with which I'm going to prosecute a government and a people. And this is, again, that short-minded criminal that is Satan itself. Like I said, Satan is a treacherous, pathetic minion. Satan is a treacherous, pathetic creature, all right, and minions surround of that same pathetic entity, all right. These are demons. These are demon-possessed individuals, and they are of the same, equally, I would say, pathetic, inferior, that inferior spirit is what is working in them. And okay, and so you're talking about being a stalker, you're focused on somebody, and that evidence is clear, and then so you could just turn your back the other way, and you're still being documented. You're pathetic, okay? And you are captured as the demon that you are. And so time of year analysis, I just want to remind you of this, which I captured on video while I'm sitting outside of the library at 4:50 p.m. And the state's fake sun is very precise to where I'm sitting at 4:50 p.m. a year ago on February 1st, 2021. And the state is molesting, aiming light. The light source is to the angle where I'm sitting and focusing the location of that fake sun, and this is Satan itself, above the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. 4:50 p.m., you're going to remember what's going on this year. What am I documenting? The state is engaging in conduct as though the sun is setting over the B&G Plaza, over the Montclair Place parking lot as I go from 630 North Fern, where at 4:27 p.m. the state is acting as though, as I remained on that street in that vehicle all day long on January 1st, 2022, like the sun is also setting in alignment with me there. And you're not going to forget what I'm documenting while I'm on a bus en route to the Fontana Lewis Library in the evening, and you have the state keeping a fake sun in alignment with the window of the bus as I'm going to Fontana, let alone the documentation of what the state is doing with the fake sun in the morning when I'm going from Ontario to Fontana. But I've captured this also in the evening, going north up Sierra Avenue, going what is east on San Bernardino Avenue. All right, you have all of this documentation, and then you have what is February 1st, 2022, and this is what is relevant to what is time of year, even down to what is going on right now, currently, and the relevant time of year of 2022, and what was going on 365 days ago, where the state was keeping a fake sun hovering over me in the same way, hovering over what is the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, whereas you're in the morning at 9:57 a.m., how is this the sun that's remaining essentially at the same exact location at 4:50 p.m.? That's what was going on February 1st, 2021, at least. All right, so I just want to be clear. This is what is criminal summoning. This is the conduct of an entity that has zero credibility whatsoever. All right, and you are talking about the ongoing terrorizing threat as you are intentionally communicating that while you're monitoring the documentation with which I'm going to prosecute you with. And engaging in criminal summoning is going to land you in federal prison. So while all these minions are monitoring, they can listen to that, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to federal prison. All right, and engaging in criminal summoning of the Ontario police officers, and many are going to federal prison. You're talking about what is the necessity, disbanding such police agencies. They are infected with demon possession. That's why Satan itself is hovering over the Ontario Police Department. That's why the fake sun, Satan itself, is hovering over the vehicle while I'm being driven east on Hope Boulevard, as I showed you just days ago, going to Starbucks at 8:31 in the morning, after remaining over at 8:14 in the morning above the 630 North Fern Avenue address. But then today at 8:41 in the morning, it's in perfect alignment with me over the same B&G Plaza where the state is engaging and acting like the sun is setting there at 8:41 in the morning while I'm walking toward what is the Ovid Family Community Library. So this is just understanding what is that unmistakable evidence, and understanding what is satanic. All right, and so these are the minions of Satan. These are the devices of Satan, and it is going to the ways in which you're going to prosecute Satan, because that's exactly what you're doing. I want to be clear. When you're prosecuting the demon possessed, you're prosecuting Satan. You're getting to its minions. All right, you're getting to what are the instruments of darkness, and that's exactly what you represent in every word coming out of that demon's mouth. Representing the Ontario Police is a terrorizing threat. It is a mode of intimidation while you are indeed monitoring while my panties are down. All right. So because you don't like the fact that that is what is going on, and that's what's going to continue to happen, you engage in what is prosecuting yourself at this point. All right, because the P.O.C. has already been established. And I also want to be clear, this is an officer who was present, engaging in criminal activity, engaging in facilitation with the people of the state, and admitting as to knowledge of my YouTube channel, which is awareness. Again, first of all, not only is he monitoring, but he is aware of what is the seriousness with which I am documenting what is criminal conduct, which is fully corroborated. Everything that I've already published is it's already corroborated. I didn't just make up allegations that I'm not able to back it up with it. No, that's not what's going on, and that's not what my YouTube channel demonstrates. But it's even more than my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel does not contain my podcast. My YouTube channel does not contain all of the images that I also capture, screenshots showing the ongoing P.O.C. And so this particular officer is also admitting to knowledge. This is relevant. Okay, and so I want to be clear, this is documented on that body cam. That is evidence. In the same way I will prosecute Officer Morris, pursuant and literally capturing this minion standing in directed light, present pursuant to what is criminal summoning, and engaging in what is criminal defamation while the pattern of conduct is underway, because demons are hostile, being shown as the sex offenders that they are. It's 1:57 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the Ovid Family Community Library. It is currently 6:05 p.m. A documentation of what is a meeting, again, as I exit the venue of Ovid Family Community Library at 215 E.C. Street. This group stalker, and again, this is a demon. This is stalking with light, and this is also the molestation, the ongoing demonic pattern of stalking in the path with light and molesting with light. License plate 8NNP550, along with 4WON432. It's currently 6:06 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, let me get you these demons stalking in the plaza where Rite Aid is located. This is an old Asian woman, 6TFA198. Capturing the demon that is inside of what is Tasty Donuts. It's a third-party facilitating venue. The state is flying over by helicopter. That's what I took an image of. And again, Tracy Banks, 4WON432, is molesting while the helicopter is flying over. All right, monitoring together. Take a listen. Hi, what's your company you work with? Your security?
Yeah.
A Security Group Incorporated Private Security. This African-American male monitoring with a communication device, standing right here in relevant position in directed light while the state is flying over in a helicopter. It doesn't look like everything's all right. Why is the helicopter here? 6WYL488, 6AJU320, 8RYT721, 7TGR624, 7SPH732, L888TER, 8GED298. All right, this is at the smoke shop located at 118 West G Street, I believe. P.O.C. All right, 8HIL783, 2644, 5P2. I'm sorry, 2644, 6P2. 6WMF356, 5BQN017. And again, that was the state flying right over this this plaza, which is anchored by Rite Aid. Rite Aid can pack up and move all you want. It's the company name that you're going to prosecute. And also those who work there, engaged in prolonged POC for years, by the way. 58985F3, where the state is also flying over, again, streets away at 630 North Fern, where Tracy Banks is also engaging in this demonic system and monitoring and sexually violating her own relative. That's what I am, blood relative. But that demon possession ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on her. License plate 7BAM377. All right, it is currently 6:15 p.m. That's demonic activity. That's the people of the state. That's documentation of terrorism. P.O.C.
They don't believe their pumps.
It's 6:20 p.m. License plate 6ZTW608, 8XKC968, 8JCA109. This is at 434 North Euclid Avenue, ARCA. License 7YGC190, 8AAA908, 8AFP614. Okay. 8SKY342. When you listen to what I'm documenting in real time and you hear the helicopter, this is how you're witnessing what are the animals that are the demon possessed. They're animals. 11113H3 798TR handicap. That's exactly what they are. Animals, psychopaths. 8WZL322, 47627C3. BATMNN1, 7LKP359, 6XSV956, 8VKT366. I already read that one. 7SLM469. And it's 6:21 p.m. 8KYG233. FATWAKE, 6LCX594. F234. I can't really see that one. It is 6:22 p.m. That's crossing path at Euclid and G Street. All right, operations communication device in the vehicle, monitoring with these animals that I'm identifying by license plate. It's 6:22 at G Street and Euclid. Let's see, 8KGV 789, 7LYB 202. Alrighty, and so Blink Fitness, located at 182 West G Street. That's another address referencing where this Rite Aid is inside of that plaza. The Bank of America is adjacent to it. This was a heavily documented venue on December 31st, 2021, where the state's fake sun remained over me after I exited American Inn, and I remained there until after 12 p.m., into the 12 p.m. hour. And it is the same time of year where the state is keeping a fake sun over me at the Ovid Family Community Library, where I'm there earlier than that. 8YTK 824. All right, and you have what is the people of the state maintaining presence on this street, using their vehicles as light activity, patrolling, but also living in their venues where they live while the state is flying over the street right now. Fern in relevant position while she's driving and preparing to park. All right, this is the ongoing P.O.C. (21209C2) 6YOX 838. Crossing path exiting the venue of 325 West G Street right now. It's 6:24 p.m. All right, 6YOX 838 exiting her venue is not only a means of crossing path, it's a means of being in front of the vehicle to create light. All right, this is the demon stalking in the path with light. All right, monitoring with the demon that is operating this vehicle where I am being subject to this system, acting in concert with the rest of the demons who surround. All right, it's currently 6:24 p.m. All right, so what I want to point out is the image that I captured of this. He appears to be an African-American male. He could be African, but he is nonetheless a black male wearing the security guard whose company name I document on my podcast. In real time, you're listening to the helicopter activity while he is monitoring on a communication device, wearing a security guard uniform. So I want to be clear, what you'll see in that image is the helicopter right over his head while he is stalking in the path. Directed light remains. The state is amplifying helicopter activity while in that parking lot. All of what I'm doing and why I'm there and where I'm going is a matter of public information. And so going to this plaza is exactly why the state is flying over that plaza by helicopter. This is also deduced by what is the ongoing presence of impossible light activity. And this demon that is wearing a security guard uniform has the helicopter. You could see the helicopter right over his head, right? That's P.O.C. I just want to point that out because that's the significance of the image that I'm capturing. It is also understanding what is the ongoing ubiquitous presence of Satan itself. These are the demon possessed. All right. And it's entirely demented. This ongoing stalking with light, this ongoing stalking in this demented environment. All right. With directed light. License plate 62259P2, engaging in that ongoing stalking with the state, aiming directed light inside of the vehicle. Tracy Banks is still in the car. All right, doing the same thing while she's not in the car. All right, aiming impossible light activity inside of the vehicle, which is speaking to that ongoing pattern of stalking with light. This is the terrorist. This is the demon. All right, this is the psychopath and the sex offender. All of this is what is going on with light while the entity is engaged in surveillance. All right, touching, stalking, surrounding, and doing so for the purpose of what is monitoring with communication devices. It's 6:26 p.m. Alrighty, license. 7PK0413. Monitoring with light activity in front of Starbucks with hazards on this large truck. That's SBR Express Incorporated. And let's see. We are now at Euclid and E Street. Crossing path 5SFY066. Alrighty, and not going to park at 630 North Fern. This is ongoing exposure to that life-threatening criminal activity with the government and the people of the state. It's 6:16 p.m. Third-party facilitating venue ARCO, located at 434 North Euclid Avenue. And again, the entity remains stalking with a helicopter. You're talking about what is my ability to capture it visibly while that demon is flying in circles over that plaza, audibly and visibly. All right, license. And that remains the case. 7HWX195. 6P96733. 4AUL 954, I believe. 5EKR 341. It's 6:17 p.m. 4VMS 488. This is the demon stalking with activity, driving down the street the moment that I get out of the car. That's for purposes of crossing the path, stalking with their creation of activity and doing so in direct light. This one coming to molest. License plate SANC Z04. It is currently 6:31 p.m. $8JW 9098. I can't see that one clearly. 7DXN 966. 8EOD 480. All right, you have another demon that replaces. I can't see that last one. You have another demon that parks in the spot in front of the vehicle that I just exited out of. I'm walking toward the plaza where the Rite Aid is present. They're sitting on that street in front of 325 West G Street, 6V15127. Let me be clear. In the same way that you're documenting any commercial venue, for example, accepting a delivery, a demon stalking with light outside of any venue that you can identify. As I've already documented, 403 West G Street are demons monitoring, surveilling, sexually violating, okay? 8TED378. While I'm sleeping in a car at night, 8SLW721, you have ongoing molestation and aiming impossible light inside of that car. And those demons that live up and down that street all around a relevant position are monitoring with communication devices in an obsessive manner. That is also indicated by the ongoing stalking by helicopter. All right, and airplane. License plate 8RQZ716. And that's why you have a demon that parks right there in front of 325 West G Street in front of the vehicle that I just got out of, arriving as I get out. All right, that's a psychopath sitting there aiming light, stalking. And I want to document the Woodside Senior Apartments has more than 408 West G Street. The other address is 302 West G Street in relevant position monitoring as well. So it's 408 West G Street and 302 West G Street. License plate 7ZWC321. 8VBK 646, I believe. I can't really see that one. That's though. And it's 6:33 p.m. All right, license 6AHR748, 8VAG648. Uh, 7L88253, 7VPT070. 8JRU358, 7JXX391, 8LRE909, 59720E2, 7BAM377, 7JXX391, 7KMY600, B1Q5016, that's a paper plate, BJT0158, Arizona, 5RIV344, 8WPV038, 8FES155, 8HKL525, 7NKP055, 8LLZ183, 7MXS496. 8JCA091, 8LJZ954, 8NNE206, 8EDU438, 8JAK300, and they're all molesting together. These are literal psychopaths. All they're doing is driving around in circles, just moving light all over. That's their objective. This is Satan, all right? 8NQW640. And that is literally Satan flying in a circle in a helicopter. All right, as you hear on my podcast, and then following to where it is I'm sleeping. That's how consumed Satan is, and that is speaking to how consumed the demon-possessed are. The demon-possessed are in positions of government that I'm revealing to you, understanding what is terrorism that is very much underway in the United States, in the state of California. 8HKL525. Stalking an American citizen with helicopter while a psychopath is stalking in a vehicle, using it as a means of stalking with light because it's a demon. License 5VXU003. 8HKL525, read that one. 7TTR976. 6BLC330. 7KMY600. Just making sure I'm getting all of them because I'm repeating. 8PRX672. 8EOU138. 7RPE723. 8LRE909. FedEx is crossing path on Euclid Avenue right now, driving south on Euclid. They are monitoring while these demons are maintaining an ongoing chain of light, just driving all around in the parking lot. All right, license plate 8MO9316, molesting 6DJU642, 8HJR358, 8UND820, 8SGK928, 7WE3962, 7VOG251, 68052L1, 7UIX089, 8ADL675, 60035H3, 6NYC535, 93314G3, 7ZJE501, 8MO9316, 6KOS616, 6NHL600, 8HAC682, and directed light across Blink 182. Sorry, Blink Fitness. 82235P1, Blink 182 is an old band. Blink Fitness located at 130 West G Street. That's a demon that's crossing path, and the state is engaging in that demonic pattern of moving directed light across the buildings while these demons are driving around. 8ADL675, 8HAC682, 5Y05168, 6KOS616. All right, I'm showing you what are the double shadows that these demons of 8MO9316 maintain while they're stalking in a parking lot and molesting with these demons with this license plate. They coincidentally not. All right, this is intentional. These are demons stalking together. 5PJM430 is a sex offender, a predator, and comes around to touch me with light while I'm capturing images of this demon that has a shadow on their left and on their right. They've got the white tennis shoes on with the black checks. Those are demons. And they're monitoring with communication devices coming from license plate 8MO9316, 6KOS616, 8SBL431. And this is the same parking lot where Tracy Banks is engaging in this terrorism and sexual violence with which I'm going to prosecute her. All right, you're understanding what is terrorism already. You are understanding what is the threat posed by one whom you are related to, who you are letting in your life. Understand this is the government maliciously maintaining presence in your life, posing a threat to your life while smiling in your face. You're going to federal prison for that. All right, and all the ways in which Tracy Banks has participated in kidnapping and all the ways in which she has done so. This psychopath is present while the state's flying over and following to this venue where I'm being molested with directed light, while psychopaths such as license plate 4WFY263 are present to engage in targeting me, and she is facilitating that, exposing me to it, fully participating in it, okay? And does so while just maintaining her communication device and not acknowledging, and that's why I document in her face in the same way that she's being a psychopath. I document in her face 8JMK540, 7MBF972, because I'm not going to mince words, and I'm not going to speak anything other than the truth about Satan, which she is a puppet of, all right? Literally, Satan has its arm up her rectum, okay? She eats and breathes and is a puppet of Satan itself, and she's a pathetic human being. While you're listening to me document, that psychopath, Tracy Banks, Tracy Jenkins on Facebook, is sitting in the driver's seat monitoring, facilitating. She's engaging in everything that I'm documenting. Okay, 5UGW077, 7BWG440. So like I said, while she's listening to me document, she's listening to me tell her again, you're going to federal prison. 5UGW077, 7DDJ633, 81526S2, 8XUZ126, You shall not, in the same way Open Family Community Library is going to federal prison, you're talking about understanding criminal summoning, facilitation, criminal defamation, 8JRU 358, 8LAS 627, plotting, in other words, against an American citizen that's enforcing their constitutional rights, 8 RGW 324, which, by the way, is the only purpose for Ontario Police Department turning on a body cam in order to engage in, air quotes, friendly giving me a warning while you're monitoring me. All right? They can plot, they can record it on their body cam, although I'll prosecute them with that body cam. 5NKD 360, I will place them in federal prison with that body cam content. 6JPT 993. All right, so what I'm stating is, in the same way you are not tolerating where the government's engaging in surveillance, there is zero tolerance. You will be summarily placed into federal prison. Criminal summoning, kidnapping by the entity. You want to engage in what is criminal defamation, that's facilitating an entity's intention to engage in basically, let me get this third party molesting with a communication device. BU96B34, that's a black Mini Cooper, looks like it's spray painted. Engaging in criminal defamation, and that serves the purpose of trying to discredit or in any way minimize the prosecutorial efforts, the reporting efforts, the documentation of any American citizen that is documenting the P.O.C. 7SMX433. All right, and as I've also shown you, the pattern of conduct, criminal defamation serves the ongoing criminal intent to engage in kidnapping. All right, 7SJS840, 8XUZ126, 7Y81091. And so you are understanding what is those grounds of zero tolerance. You are acting on behalf of the government while you're a blood relative, an American citizen that's documenting the P.O.C. If you are in hot water, where you maintain some personal relationship with that target individual, you are present on behalf of the state. You are a very threatening criminal acting on behalf of that entity, literally providing a channel for the government to threaten your life and monitor, because you are nothing other than a puppet. That's all you are. All right, you're an ongoing threat in the most malicious form, the most threatening form, the most lethal form. 8ADL6750, zero tolerance for that, right? License 7Y81091, 8GTU731, 8WGM020, AV50K03, 8VEP879, AB71W64, that's paper, 8GCB161, 7WGS043, 8LLZ183, 7NKPO54, 6NGW189, 8JRU358, 8BFP332, 8UJJ151. All right, 8BFP332 is a demon, okay, sitting in their vehicle the entire time while I'm standing around the parking lot, waiting till I get into the path, then they reverse out of their parking spot. That's a demon that's stalking with light, okay? You have the ongoing pattern of conduct, and that's also molestation. You're stalking on behalf of the state. I'm going to prosecute. That's a sex offender. Understand, federal group stalking and monitoring is going to be an ongoing perpetual sex offense by government. That's never before contemplated, and that's what the government's doing, and that's exactly what you're going to prosecute. 8FTP978, that's what you're going to prosecute for. License BM39T82, that's paper. 8LJH860, 8R25108, 5ZSW363, 8LAS627, 8NKN811, 8NGV347, 7IT, I'm sorry, I can't see this, 7TIV817, I believe, yeah. 4VYA531, 6JPT993, 8JMK540, and do not forget relevant positioning. There is a zone of relevant positioning. It's not just this plaza that I am going through and documenting the license plates. The American Inn that's in relevant position off of 8th Street in Euclid, they're monitoring as well while the state is engaging in terrorism, flying over me by helicopter, and I'm subject to an ongoing demonic orgy. They're all molesting with directed light. All right, and you have what is the Bank of America stalking by being at the drive-thru, understand what they're doing in relevant position while you are witnessing my documentation. It's relevant to who was present at that Bank of America at what time. These are demons engaging in an ongoing concerted criminal act with the government. You don't have any form, so you're understanding what is the relevance of everything that they are doing as they are doing it. License 8LJH860, and Bank of America is in relevant position. 6SBT598. 5ZSW, I read that one already. License plate, 7SJS840. 8LJH860, I read them, but they're crossing path now. L888TER, 8GED298, 7BCP646, 5TNS064, you're understanding what's the purpose of these psychopaths besides the fact that they're demons, but you're also understanding, I've captured images, you're looking at these demons that are standing around, walking around with triple shadows. That's the significance of these demons that are driving around the parking lot. This is demonic, okay? They're psychos. License 7XKV892. That is literally the demonic activity. So they're sitting in their vehicles, just using their vehicle lights, waiting until I'm in the path to pull out or pull into a parking spot, sitting in their car, just keeping their headlights on, driving around through the parking lot. While this is directed light, these are demons. That is demonic activity. 7SMX433. Doing so in some nice vehicle is no distraction by a demon. Understand what they're doing, and they are absolute sickos. Okay, freaks of nature, sitting around, concentrating, aiming light around, like you are out of your freaking mind. They're weirdos. That's what Satan is. Understand that. CACH504 included. 7WGS043, 7SMX433. Let me make sure I got these demons' license plates. I think I read that one though. So you're understanding the significance of that. 8R25108. That's what they're doing. And that's what they're always doing. I'm just, as you see what I say, triple shadows, you know exactly, that's exactly what I mean. And there is no form, meaning there is nothing that you are doing other than being a psychopath, demon-possessed stalker in that environment. That's why you're sitting in your car with the headlights on. That's why you're sitting there even with your headlights off while other demons are patrolling all around me with light. While the state is stalking by helicopter, airplane, sounding sirens in the environment, doing whatever it is to maintain the criminal elements of monitoring. They're psychopaths. This is Satan in operation over a people simultaneously. 4WFY263, 7TGR624, 8RYT721, 6AJU320, 6WYL488, 6WMF356, 8SVB055, 8HIL783. 8HAC682, 8RGW324, 7HIB898, 8HJR358, 5VXS760, You got demons that are patrolling on the sidewalk. They're all means of what is crossing path. All right, so let me get these. 8W08, I'm sorry, 8W80573, 8WLA598, 5JIT 227, 8JTB488. This is so entirely pathetic as well. You have an entire population of the demon possessed that are focused on me. 8XDC409, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what this is, and this is exactly what it's been for a very long time. I just was not aware of it. 93314G3. Understand, I'm going about my life, going about my education, and you have literally and this is also why they are in fear. Understand, Satan is pathetic. Satan has already lost. This is the spiritual aspect. Because these are the demon possessed, and this is their step. This is their posture. This is reality. This is how pathetic. Not only they're pathetic because I'm embarrassing them, I'm humiliating them, I'm exposing them, I'm prosecuting them, I am revealing them. All right? Because wherever you are at, you will know them also by their deeds, the environment that they are in, and also understanding the criminal system that you are subject to while you identify that, because it's present for a criminal purpose. Not only for understanding the times that we are in, demonic activity is very, very real. Psychopaths that are of demon possession, smiling in your face, carrying babies in their arms, delivering packages to business, whatever it is, it does not matter. It does not matter. That has nothing to do with what are the demon possessed at all. It has nothing to do with how that condition, which is very real and very prevalent, is caricaturized for you to think it's some extreme and extraordinary. No, it's not. These psychopaths are all around. That's why a fake sun remains over me by the day. All right? License 8PHB782. That's why Satan itself is hovering in that light source. That is not possibly the sun. 5JBV211. And that is not a fable. That is real life. License 5VXS760. 5UKP742, 6BLC330, license 8ZAK165. And I already read these license plates. This one's just driving in a circle while the state's amplifying that plane activity, and you already see the light conduct. They're in direct light. This is P.O.C. License 5JBV211, 8LRE909. And the state is hovering very precisely over the edge of the street right where I am at. Yes? I sure am documenting your license plate. I sure am. Do you know why your children have 4 shadows right now? Do you know why the state's hovering right here? I didn't think so. Go about your business, Satan. Don't go about your business while directed light is shooting all over the place. Why are you documenting? That's a psychopath. 5JIT227, 8HJF301. It is currently 6:50 p.m. and like I was stating, the entity hovering right here over the Braces Dentistry, the Guadalupe Wedding Chapel, the G Street. This is at Laurel and what is that? Fern and then Palm, I believe, and Laurel. Right here over this edge where these storefronts and these residences are. Understand, it's always precise to where I'm at. That's what the entity is doing while flying over me with commercial airline planes. For example, at the B&G Plaza, it's very precise to where I'm at, and this is a very grandiose deviation. All right, you're talking about what is hovering. You hear the plane, that's amplification, 6TTH441. It's in directed light. All right, and it is while I'm also speaking to what is the demented conduct of those that are surrounding, sitting around being psychopaths, just aiming light. Okay, they might as well be bashing their heads into brick walls. That's how crazy they are, sitting around just aiming light. It's 8YQY953, and then they want to aim that light on you, touch you all over the place. That's how you're prosecuting what is that violence and that demented conduct, that terrorism with that light, while they want to stalk you and monitor with communication devices. 8ERE676 is the conduct of Satan. The conduct of Satan's minion. 7SEN160, 8AIJ469, 4RKW785, 8TED378, 6UVX025, I believe, and it's currently 6:52 p.m. And again, that Blink Fitness. There's a Pizza Hut there, the Rite Aid. They packed up and leave. That's not stopping that prosecution. 6RCX039, nor of that company. All right. 6SKC375. License 8XXE910. License 5HJP417. License 10849T2. Molesting. This is 315 East G Street, 6RMB 677, and again 66598S2 at 323 West G Street. It's currently 6:53 p.m. All right, molesting. License plates. HELUVA, a hell of a demon. That's it. And a loser. 7JXN960. License 7YMA591. License 38189R1. That's roofs, a commercial vehicle roofs. I didn't see the rest of the name of that, but that's a commercial vehicle pickup truck, a white pickup truck. All right, meeting to engage in crossing path, directed light across 403 West G Street and 325 West G Street. Not headlights. Operation of communication device 8VHN862. Appears to be a Latino male or a Caucasian male with a beard and a mustache, wearing a backwards cap, studying his phone while he is stalking in the path, and directed light is moving on both sides of the properties on the opposite sides of the street. All right, it's currently 6:54 p.m. BM60K59, that's a paper plate. Very interesting. Alrighty, it is currently 6:55 p.m. And the state migrating where I go with planes. Right? The state is already prosecuted, so this is a prosecution of the people. There's no question about what the people are doing and what is wrong with them as they do it, and the ways in which the law is going to justice requires that they be prosecuted for it. It's 6:55 p.m. P.O.C. That's molestation by 630 North Fern. All right, that's audible activity. Your property lights are a means of stalking with light activity. Understand that, and also a means of touching. All right, and doing so with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented as well. It's violent sex offenders, 630 North Front, and I also took images of what is my shadow in front of me and my shadow to the side. It is indeed a molestation. All right, license 6YOX has returned. 6YOX. I'm sorry, 7. Oh no, that's not 6YOX. This is license 7YXR114. Shadow to all sides of the vehicle, molesting with light. All right, P.O.C. I did capture images of the molestation by 630 North Front. Those are sex offenders inside of a venue engaging in an ongoing touching. The government shall not touch whatsoever. The government does. The government's going to be prosecuted as a sex offender, all right? Engaging in the perpetual violation of the person, in doing so as a demon, that the as puppets of Satan. This is demonic, all right? This is Satan in operation, giving the very life to Satan itself through people, through the environment itself, all right? It is currently 6:56 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, coming to take a picture of 630 North Fern, 8 WPD 623. And that sounds exactly as weird as it is. 8 WPD 623 is crossing path with a communication device. And as I get out of the vehicle, which the entity is aiming light inside of and molesting with light, doing so with a communication device and appearing as though this is the nearest form they can come up with, he's taking a picture of the venue of 630 North Fern. I just want to be clear, that's crossing path with a communication device, aiming light into the vehicle where this entity knows that I'm sleeping, engaging in that satanic conduct of aiming and targeting with light. This is why the people of the state, they're going to be met with what is a very intense and a very serious federal charges with regard to being prosecuted as engaging in federal stalking. All right, it is obsessive. It's entirely demented. It is the ongoing threat to your life while people engage in this satanic conduct together. Okay, and that is what is reflected as you document. They monitor your documentation, and you have what is one demon after another 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 demon. All right, it is currently 7 p.m. on the dot. Alrighty, license plate 6BJN436. Demon stalking with light. As I upload what I previously recorded, they engage in ongoing stalking with activity while I'm on the internet. 6JXB745. All right, this is stalking, and these are demon possessed stalkers. Okay, license plate. I'm sorry, it's 8:25 p.m. and that license plate, they're both patrolling by in relevant position. I just got through recording that, and so as I say the time and I stop recording, that is operation of internet. So it starts uploading, and these demons that are already present in the path, ready to cross path. That's what group stalking is for purposes of monitoring with communication devices on the internet. License plate, let me get this one over here. Union Pacific is impossible audible activity, molestation, third party, 8ZIZ407. It is 8:25 p.m. Alrighty, license 8YOJ994, and you have another demon that goes right in the same position as the United States Postal Service as I upload this previous one. Alrighty, monitoring, aiming light as I start uploading that previous one. It's the same pattern. Parking inside of the venue is maintaining presence so I can document your license plate. This demon is license 8NNF160. All right, so you've been sitting in relevant position while that ongoing terrorism is underway. Is that what you're saying?
No, I asked why you're taking pictures of the plates.
Why are you taking pictures of my plates for?
Why are you sitting in the car in the dark while people are molesting with light? How about that?
I'm just parking.
No, you're not just parking.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm tired of you.
What's your name? What's your name?
Don't ask me for my name.
What's your name? You're in BM60K59 and calling the cops for what?
We were just parking. We were like that.
Yeah, and I'm just standing. What are you calling the cops for? You're the same one that engaged in you're the same one that engaged in calling the police last time, right? And they identified my car while I'm on another block. You're engaging in P.O.C. All right, so like I said, taking a picture of your license plate is what? No, hold on. What's the crime of taking a picture of a license plate? You tell me. What's the crime of taking a picture of a license plate? Is it not on the exterior of the car? Is that private information? Is it not published to the public already? No, it's not private information. That's why it's on the outside of a car. That's why it's already on the outside of the car. So like I said, I'm not going to entertain you anymore. You're the same minions that engaged in sitting in your vehicle the whole time while that ongoing pattern of conduct is underway. And while the license plate is on the outside of your car, I'm not breaking in your car, not breaking the law, but I'm glad you identified yourself. You're the same ones that engaged in criminal summoning before. That's P.O.C. And you, honey, you're going to federal prison. You going to federal prison. She's on the and that third party that's reversing, reading a license plate, and I'll read it again because it's on the outside of the car. They're going to federal prison. License plate 8NNF160.
Going to prison for?
That's P.O.C.
Got out of her car and came to my
And
car.
breaking no law,
Excuse me.
breaking no
Don't get in
law,
my
breaking
fucking-
no law,
don't get in my fucking-
breaking no law. You're the one that's a threat. While she's threatening with the police on the phone. She's the one engaging in an assault. She's the one engaging in an assault. You hear that? She's waging a threat while she's calling the police and no crime is underway by me. That's P.O.C. You're going to F me up, right? Did the police catch that? You're going to F me up? Got it. That's P.O.C. She's going to federal prison. She's on the police, on the phone with the police, which is criminal summoning, while she's engaged in the P.O.C., by the way, calling the police, engaging in what is summoning while they're monitoring the documentation, and then communicating a threat while she's on the phone with the police talking about, I'm reading a license plate. All right, that's P.O.C. It is, again, 8:29 p.m. And so let me document, she is getting out of the car and she's taking pictures of the car, not a crime. And they're engaging in an ongoing molestation, operation of a communication device, verbalizing a threat, doing so as the entity, monitoring the documentation. And these are the same third parties, by the way, that engage in criminal summoning. Like I was stating, they've been sitting in the car, by the way, sitting in the car the entire time, monitoring with the United States Postal Service, monitoring with the minions that were patrolling up and down the street. And as I get that license plate, hopping out of the car while they're sitting in the dark, monitoring together, communicating a verbal threat that she's going to harm me while she's monitoring, and then telling the police about that, which is not a crime, while she is waging a verbal threat, doing so. This is criminal summoning. She's going to federal prison. All right. It is currently 8:30 p.m. Summoning the police who are monitoring already, by the way. That's the P.O.C. It is 8:30 p.m. All right, 1261511. That is United States Postal Service. That's the vehicle number of the U.S.P.S. Understand this is state surveillance, monitoring American citizens and engaging in what is terrorism. This is a demon driving a United States Postal Service vehicle, stalking with irrelevant position, doing so while I'm inside of the vehicle on the internet and doing what is the same exact psychopath conduct, aiming light, and this is a demon sitting inside of a UPS vehicle doing so, parking right behind the vehicle and aiming light. And I do engage in capturing a flurry of images of this molestation and terrorism, pulling up behind the vehicle. And then as I get out of the car and proceed to capture images, the demon begins pacing. All right. So you're talking about what is used in the vehicle is going forward and backward and forward and backward and forward and backward, which is stalking with light as well. While this is directed light that's inside of the vehicle. Again, that's United States Postal Service. This third party, 6YXR114, license plate 8NIS375. These are demons, and while they are driving on the street, the state engaging in what is a stream of light across the dashboard, which is impossible light activity. The back windshield is covered up. There is no light that's going to be bouncing off of some door or any window or mirror or anything like that. The state is aiming directed light across the glove compartment on the passenger side, aiming stationary light inside of the vehicle, and those demons of the United States Postal Service, as I documented in images, engaging in the P.O.C. License plate 8NNF160 and license 8PVB169 and license plate 6XXT119, all of them in directed light. And also, while United States Postal Service is stalking in the path behind me and aiming light into the vehicle and molesting, you have what is directed light that's moving across the venue of 403 West G Street. This is light across the surfaces that's surrounding. This is directed light inside of the vehicle, and this is a demon that is inside of a USPS vehicle to engage in focusing on me, okay, targeting me. License plate, driving behind, just now crossing path while light is on the glove compartment, 6MWV959. All right, that's impossible light activity, and that's the demonic conduct that United States Postal Service is engaging in, and doing so with that line of demons that I just identified by license plate. It's currently 8:23 p.m. That's the federal government that I will be prosecuting, and I'm also revealing to you, understand, the federal government is monitoring you and doing so under the name of what is United States Postal Service. If you recall my documentation where I showed you what is the demonic light that's surrounded while a demon that was provided a United States Postal Service, and this is after 10 o'clock at night, parked at this same venue outside of 630 North Fern, and that demon got out of that USPS vehicle, ran around the car on the sidewalk while the state was flying over me by helicopter, and was doing so with a flashlight. That's a demon stalking with light, an absolute psychopath. It's Satan. All right, it's a demon-possessed person that then hopped into a United States Postal Service vehicle. And I showed you what were the impossible light, walking under some street light on the street does not create shadows that are both in front of you, behind you, surrounding you, and enlarged in size. This is the engineered light. This is the demonic environment, and that is the demon-possessed. The demon-possessed operating United States Postal Service vehicles. All right, and monitoring with the people of the state. That's why this line of demons cross path, engaging in patrolling while I'm on the internet right now recording this in real time. So they're monitoring, engaging in that conduct, and that is exactly what the United States Postal Service was doing right now at it's 8:24 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, this is P.O.C. capturing images of what is molestation.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi, we just got the cops called on you.
Yeah, I know. For what? Can you? I can't see.
It's not even in your face.
It is. It was just now. And you're blinding me. So what? You got the cops called for what? What crime did I break?
I didn't say you committed a crime.
Well, they supposedly summoned you because I violated some law, right?
I didn't say you violated a law.
You said you got called. Here, the cops were called, right?
Yeah. Doesn't mean that there was a crime that occurred. That's
Okay.
what we're here to find out.
Didn't they tell you why they were calling you?
They said that there was a lady that was arguing with them and stuff.
No, they didn't. The argument was on the phone with the person that answered the call.
Okay, so what's going on?
Nothing's going on. I'm minding my business. They should tell you what. There's no violation of any law. I'm sitting in the car minding my business.
I know. I was just asking where you live.
I don't need to answer that. Why are you here? Anything else?
Because I told you they just called.
Yeah, I know. There's no violation of the law.
I didn't say there was.
I know. You're blinding me with your light, though.
My light is pointing down there.
It keeps hitting my face. I'm letting you know it's hitting my face.
Yeah, because I want to see your face.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's blinding.
Okay,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
That's blinding.
That is blind. It keeps doing that. It's isolating. This is a molestation.
Okay.
But anyway, my point is, what is going on? What else do you want?
I was just seeing what was going on.
Okay. Well, they called you. So you're here.
Yeah, and I'm here to get your side of the story. Obviously,
there is no
argument.
story.
Was there an argument?
No, there was not an argument.
Did somebody get in somebody's
She
face?
called you.
Yeah.
So you should talk to the person that called you.
We just did.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here to get your side of the story.
There is no side of any story. Nothing happened. I'm sitting in the car and I'm free to do that.
Okay.
Well, there was something about you taking photos or something like that. Right? I just don't know.
I'm using my phone like I'm using my phone right now. What am I taking photos of that's illegal?
I'm asking you because there are things you can't take photos of
Like
that
what?
are illegal.
Like where outside? Where?
Like going into an airport and taking.
Well, we're standing at 630
like I
North
said,
Turn right
that
now.
wasn't-
I'm
That
just
wasn't
asking,
part of your
what were the
question.
videos or the photos you were taking?
I'm using my phone. She's assuming I'm taking photos.
Okay,
She
so
called
you
you
were
and
taking
told you I'm
photos.
taking photos?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that a crime?
It depends.
On what? What am I going to
If-
take a
if
picture
you-
of out
if
here
you're-
that would be criminal?
If you were taking intimate photos of someone, then
What is
yeah,
intimate out here?
You could be taking photos inside a window or something like that.
Is that what she told you?
I'm not saying that's what she told me.
Okay.
I'm just asking you what were the photos you were taking. If
Okay.
you weren't taking any photos, you weren't taking any photos.
But not only that, the bigger picture is, sir, you're here questioning me, having no grounds under the law to do so, I want to be clear, and there is no violation of any law.
Well, we
Period.
don't know that
You're
unless
asking
we
me.
ask you.
No. When people call the police, it's because there's some violation of law. Did I break into somebody's
No,
car?
People call the police for all kinds of different reasons.
Okay,
that
well,
doesn't mean that the law was violated.
Okay,
There
that
was
is
some sort of disturbance. That's why we're out here. Okay.
okay.
disturbing
And she
the
should have
peace-
told you.
Hold on.
Go
Disturbing
ahead.
the peace.
I'm not
It's-
disturbing the
it's
peace while I'm sitting in my
violation.
car.
It can be a crime.
I'm not disturbing the peace while
But
I'm
that's why
sitting in
we're
the car.
here. You
Yeah.
keep saying we're here, summon this.
Yeah.
We can't find that out unless you talk to us.
Talk to you. Well, you're asking me questions.
Yeah. And you're
You
not
were-
answering any of them.
No, we
None
are.
of
We're
them.
exchanging. You're
Yeah.
asking me questions. The reason why I'm asking you those questions is because what am I going to take a picture of that isn't a violation of being outside, sitting in a car?
There's a few things I just told
Like
you.
what? When I'm sitting in the vehicle? What is private? What is
Were
violation?
you in the vehicle the entire time?
I've been sitting in the vehicle.
The entire time.
Obviously, I got
the
out of
entire time.
Obviously, I got out of the car. I saw her.
Okay.
Right? She's yelling and threatening me on the phone.
Okay,
and
so
I'm
when we get here, you are in a car. But we don't know the whole story until we come over here and talk to you. Correct? How are we supposed to know the story?
That's form. Oh, right. That's the form for criminal summing. But go ahead.
How am I supposed to know what happened if you won't tell me anything about what happened?
There is nothing that happened that is relevant for purposes of law enforcement to be here. That's my point. Sitting in a vehicle, using my phone is perfectly lawful.
You weren't sitting in the vehicle the entire time.
Getting out of and standing in front like you are right here is lawful as well.
I didn't say it was unlawful.
Well, that's the reason why you're here. It's relevant to you. That's why I'm talking about what's
There
lawful
was
and unlawful.
photos that were allegedly taken. We were just making
Right.
sure you're not taking illegal photos of anybody.
We're here because there was
I
some
would like
sort
a definition of
disturbance.
what is illegal photos. I would
We
like a
just
definition
mentioned
of
it
that.
to you. You're not listening.
No,
Why don't
it's
you
not that I'm
review
not.
your video?
No, it's not. What's your name?
Officer Avila.
Officer Avila? What's
Yeah.
your badge number, Avila?
80537.
Thank you. And what's your name?
Officer Gerber.
Gerber?
Yes.
Like the baby?
Yes.
What's your badge number?
80515.
Okay. And what's your name, sir?
Burnett.
Burnett? 19993?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is P.O.C. All right, and you're talking about standing and... Go
You
ahead.
guys good?
I
Hey,
told
yeah,
you,
we're good.
we got
Ma'am,
called here.
Are you okay right now? You need medical attention?
Is that why you were called?
I'm asking you now.
I didn't call you. I
Just
don't
making
need...
sure. Before
Burnett, first of all, you're here. You're engaged in a pattern of showing up.
Okay.
Right, you are. And that's why you're here also. And
So you're
actually, it's
phoning
not
a
helpful
false
to these
pattern of
officers who
showing up?
want to
Yes,
feign
ma'am.
ignorance about what happened. It's actually not helpful at all. But like I said, anyway, the disturbance
do me a
was
favor,
created
just
by
try
the
not to cause
third party
disturbances
who
with
was...
the,
I'm speaking to the officers that were asking me a
citizens
question,
here,
Burnett.
You're taking
I'm gonna-
pictures of their car.
All right.
You're
Just try-
causing disturbances with them. So try
No,
not
I'm
to do
not.
that.
She got out as the person that answered the phone when she called the police. She's the one that's yelling. She's the one that's threatening.
Okay. All right, Eric.
So that's not me.
We're done here. All right.
I'm
a
going to
good
keep
night.
it open. I'm free to do that. All right, that's P.O.C. though. I do want to get your license plate. And standing here is also lawful, by the way, just so you know. You had no grounds to become present whatsoever. This is P.O.C. and that is Officer J. Burnett while they're monitoring with 630 North Fern. All right? And I just want to clarify. Excuse me, officers, I got a question.
It's okay.
You're...
don't have to answer no questions. I don't have to answer anything.
Avila, you're in directed light. His shadow was appearing on the opposite side of the street. And reading your license plate while you're engaging in the POC
Can you
is
get on
not...
the street and walk on the sidewalk?
No, they're in the street as well.
Yeah, I know.
But you're causing
I'm going to get the license plates, which is free. I'm free to do that as well. Did you know that, Avila? License 15... I need to get your license plates. 157-6656, 158-2424. And I'm going to get, thank you, Avila. That's Avila that's engaging in harassment while he's engaged in surveillance. All right. And this is absolutely lawful. While those third parties summon them, she's going to federal prison. And you're talking about what is Officer J. Burnett, who is engaging in a specific form of harassment while he's arriving pursuant to the pattern of conduct 1510636. That's Officer Avila. I'll see you later, Avila. Gerber and Burnett. This is POC. Summoning for reading a license plate that's on a vehicle that is already exposed to the public is no form for what are 3 different police vehicles, heavy police presence, and ongoing interrogation, right? A detention that you have no legal grounds for. And this is the POC, by the way. This is the same street where the state is stalking by helicopter. Police lights are a form for what is the personal encountering for law enforcement while they're engaged in the POC. 8NNF160. Did you hear that? Because it's public information, you're going to federal prison. 8NNF160, monitoring and harassing with Officer J. Burnett. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct of what is intimidation and harassment while you're engaged in the POC. Officer Burnett's going to federal prison as well. Can you repeat that? You come to all the time and you don't find out?
We come to situations all the time, calls over the phone, correct? I don't know if anything is lawful or unlawful until I get there.
Right.
And find out the story. Correct?
That's the form. No, that's not correct. There is a pattern of conduct. My shadow is on the wall. His shadow is on the wall and right here on the ground. This is POC. I want to document that. You have what is harassment. She is going to federal prison.
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
This is a pattern of conduct. And the form is just like Officer J. Avila has stated, that they don't know what's going on until they arrive. So I want to be clear. This is facilitating what are the devices of kidnapping and criminal defamation, harassment, and intimidation. Let me be clear. Officer Avila and Gerber, it is very unhelpful to them while they want to outwardly appear as though they are ignorant, don't know what's going on, when Officer J. Burnett engaging in kidnapping on May 4, 2019, all right, while his shadow is spreading on the distance on Fern Avenue, impossible light activity, while the ongoing directed light is present. This is POC, okay? It is currently 8:43 p.m., and I do understand what you're describing, Officer Avila, but this is harassment. You're talking about what is absolutely lawful. I can stand on the sidewalk over there.
Who are we harassing?
Because you're present for no reason. So someone calling the police and talking about, well, she's taking a picture. I'm taking a picture of what?
Well, it's not harassing.
That is harassment for law enforcement to arrive. Yes, it is.
No, not at all.
And what just happened right now, and you got a little hostile. I understand you're taking it down now, and I'm taking it down too. But I will say you got, that is a detention. You don't have any grounds for that.
We didn't detain you.
That was a detention.
You were free to walk around.
He actually exercised, Gerber exercised control over that car door as well, opening it up wider.
Yeah,
and
you
also,
were free to leave the entire time.
Okay, that's what you say now, but I was inside of the vehicle. You were aiming light inside of the vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a setup for what is ongoing harassment and an escalation.
It's dark outside. How am I supposed to see what's inside the car if I can't
I
shine
understand.
my light?
And if I'm sitting in the car minding my business and I don't open the car door, then what?
You
What were you going to do?
We weren't going to open the door.
Oh, you weren't.
You opened the door.
I did open the door because I don't have anything to hide. I'm documenting this, but my point is,
I just knocked on the door and you opened the door, and then we began
Conversing.
Talking, yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
So my issue is that is a setup. That is harassment. That's intimidation. Your presence here, and it's
Why don't you go file a
ungrounded.
complaint?
Because this is larger than a complaint. And you
Okay,
can't
why
file
don't
a complaint. Actually, what do you do? Let me ask you this. This is great. What do you do when the police are the criminal? What do you do then? What do you
file a
suppose?
complaint.
That is insufficient. It's insufficient, especially when it includes third parties
you
such
can
as
take us to
those
court.
engaging,
Why don't you take
and
us
that's
to court?
exactly what I'm going to
Oh,
do.
perfect.
You have what are third parties, her presence, your presence here is not helpful to her. She's going to federal prison.
That's fine.
All right? That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're saying that that's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, I understand. I needed to document this.
Okay.
What I was doing is absolutely lawful, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Okay,
She
that's fine.
engaged in communicating a threat to me,
Yeah.
but you didn't see me
No,
calling
I
you
get
on the
that.
phone.
It's just very unusual when somebody goes up to your car and starts taking pictures. It
I
is
did-
very unusual.
Okay.
Or starts taking pictures of people.
So this is the thing.
It is
So
unusual.
let me tell you this.
I don't want
I'm
to say it's illegal. It's just unusual. It doesn't happen
You
very
guys were
often.
using. I just want to be clear. You guys were using the word illegal by the car, and that's why I document everything. But I want to
You
be clear.
said it was illegal.
I was asking you what is illegal.
Yeah.
I don't find any grounds to. I don't just go around calling the police on people. That's
you,
me.
You didn't call the police.
I know, but
Yeah,
my point is, I don't
but-
go around calling, and she didn't have any grounds to. Whether
But
I'm
if
using my phone.
If somebody's coming up, it's just very unusual if someone's taking pictures of you.
So let me ask you. This is what I'm saying. While I'm sitting in the car,
Okay.
minding my business, constantly aiming light inside of the car,
Yeah.
aiming light as though you are aware that I'm inside of the car,
I was
focusing
aware.
light.
I
And
was aware.
I don't mean you specifically when I'm saying you. This is an ongoing pattern, aiming light inside of the vehicle, and that is so frequent. It is as though you have specific knowledge that I'm inside of the car. Why are you aiming light on a constant basis? Not you. Why are you aiming light on a constant basis inside of the vehicle as I sit in there? All right. And then not only that, while you are doing that, which again, I'm not calling the police because you're aiming light, but you're calling the police because I'm documenting you, which I can use my phone doing whatever I want. That's not illegal.
Yeah,
all right.
like you
in the same
explained.
way you want to claim using aiming light inside of the vehicle, which is what was going
Like you
on.
explained, there's only certain things you're not allowed to take pictures of and stuff like that.
No. We're standing outside. And so that was what I wanted to focus the conversation. You're here. You were summoned here. There was nothing that was illegal that occurred.
And once
nothing.
we got here, we established that
Right.
there wasn't illegal.
That is your form. Right. I get it. Your form is that you're ignorant upon being summoned and you're coming here just to find out what's going on. I get it. I understand that, Avila. There's a bigger picture here. There's a greater context
All right.
as far as...
All right. I'm going to end the conversation because we
Okay.
have other things to do.
Okay.
Take us to court if you want to. You could send
I
her
got
to
your-
federal prison or whatever.
I'm not going to send her to federal prison.
Okay.
It's a matter of what is a pattern of conduct as I'm documenting, and this is the pattern of conduct.
No worries.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, okay?
All right, that is understanding. Let me break down some things for you. You have what is Officer Jay Burnett. And if ever you want to try to feign ignorance, but like I said, it could have been just Gerber and Avila, who I have not met before. But like I said, the ongoing, literally capitalizing on what is an opportunity to engage in physical presence. Jay Burnett knows what I've been publishing on the internet about him. The act of kidnapping that he engaged in with Tracy Banks, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. And he is present, engaging in the P.O.C. This is a demon documented on many occasions, and including this one as well. Not only on my podcast are you listening to what is criminal summoning and that third party who also waged a physical threat. She is speaking as the state. She is speaking as the entity that are the people of the state. And let me be clear, that very conduct is not harmless whatsoever. You are talking about what is a setup for what is harassment and intimidation, and easily escalating to what is a kidnapping, while you are being targeted by third parties who are hostile to your documenting them, while you are subject to surveillance and terrorism, all right, engaging in what is calling the police. While, by the way, in their alternate universe, using your phone, taking a picture while you're aiming light on me, because that's exactly what you're doing inside of the car. Directed light is present. The ongoing P.O.C. is underway, but understand, even in their alternate universe, there is no grounds for it. There's no violation of any law. And that is the second time that those specific third parties, those are the same ones that engaged in criminal summoning. And as you recall, the third parties engaged in criminal summoning. And then as I was walking around documenting, and I'm on an entirely different block, I was on Fern and F Street, and you have an Ontario police officer that was pacing up and down as I documented in real time while I was documenting third parties such as FedEx and the rest of the people of the state, pacing all around, demons. And I'm documenting more third parties because that was the pattern of conduct, and engaging and waging of a threat. I'm going to document all of you together. So that's what I did. I went around and walked around the block, and at F Street and Vine, you have what is the officer asking about this specific vehicle. And when I'm wearing all black, I'm walking in the dark on an entirely different block. And also there is the specific information that is asked of me about this specific car. And you're talking about where I am. That is a whole lot of information that is not substantiated by the facts at as they are. I want to be clear, using those resources, pacing up and down, driving all around like you're looking for me. This is an officer that is monitoring and knows exactly who I am and where I am, and engages in what is a molestation and asking about that specific vehicle, and doing so pursuant to what is no grounds for criminal summoning. So you call the police and say somebody took a picture. So what? Basically. It is not a matter of you don't know what's happening. They're calling you and they're telling you such and such did such and such. You know exactly what was alleged on the phone call. Not only that, you're talking about what is a psychopath. This is Satan itself, and you're understanding how that system works. I want to be clear. That is Officer J. Burnett, Officer Gerber, and Officer Avila engaging in what is the ongoing pattern of conduct while present pursuant to what is criminal summoning. And I want to be clear that these demons are looking for ways to engage in not only showing of hostility and harassment, but you're talking about what is an ongoing admission while they do so. They were sitting in the vehicle the whole time in the dark while minion after minion was molesting, including the United States Postal Service, and then they hop out of the car. I'm sick of you. You're the same one. You're monitoring. You are sitting there being a stalker, sitting in the dark. All right. And then engaging in what is hostility as I'm about to document your license plate while you're sitting in the dark monitoring with the rest of those demons. And the state maintains presence via aircraft and helicopter as I continue to document. All right. This is why you are going to federal prison. All right. So you have what is Officer J. Burnett that's remaining while I'm talking to Avila, Officer J. Burnett, and that third party whose image I captured, who I also captured their voice on podcast, who was engaged in the second act of criminal summoning while they are hostile because they're being documented. And again, any ordinary American citizen, you are going to document the government that's engaging in surveilling you, as you are subject to such acts of criminal hostility and threats to engage in kidnapping, because that is what that is. That's exactly what that is. The ordinary American citizen is subject to what is asking questions, trying to trip you up, also test your knowledge, see what you know. You don't know your rights. You don't know the law. You don't know what's said. Perhaps you don't have a very good recall of facts. Perhaps you're not, whatever it is, looking for any sort of weakness to easily escalate. This is how the police operate. This is how the pattern of conduct is underway. And this is how you can easily end up kidnapped. And by the way, the Ontario Police Department have already engaged in that before, not based on my ignorance. They did it to me, and I am fully trained in the law. Okay, so that's showing how audacious this entity is. That shows how desperate and far-reaching and how despicable Satan is as it uses minions such as the Ontario Police Department. And I'll be clear, Officer J. Burnett, that was documented again today, he's going to federal prison. Officer Gerber and Avila, present pursuant to what is criminal summoning. You're listening to what are psychopaths talking about. We don't know what's going on, when first of all you got a phone call telling you about what's going on while they called you. All right. They didn't just say boo and hang up the phone and then you arrived. She is documented even on my podcast. And I told you what she's saying. She's taking pictures. So what? There's nothing that you're taking pictures of also outside that's violating any law. And third, and most importantly, you are going to document the government, period. It's engaging in surveillance. I stated, and this is what you are understanding, federal prison. She's going to federal prison. Officer J. Burnett is going to federal prison. Police officers that facilitate that criminal act, that wage that threat, engaging in what is intimidation, while all of them are monitoring and are hostile to what they are aware of that I'm documenting on an ongoing basis. Engaging in that conduct is going toward that prosecution, period. All right. And this is, by the way, who I am dealing with. I'm dealing with demons. These are demons that I am encountering. The ongoing demonic environment remains. Directed light while these police officers are standing around talking to third parties about nothing they're monitoring. You have 3 police vehicles arriving and engaging in what is surrounding me, molesting me with light. All right, while engaging in what is relevant positioning. It's the ongoing pattern of conduct. All right, and this is the same exact street where the state is placing a fake sun, where it's rising over me in the day, following where I go, placing that which is a fake moon also at the same positions as well, stalking by helicopter on a nightly basis. All right. And engaging in what is flying over this venue, hovering in commercial airline planes. This is the ongoing P.O.C. And that same third party that was so quote unquote gangster talking about she's going to F me up. She's going to federal prison. All right. I'm going to F her up with a prosecution. All right. So this is what that's why I wanted to document every single word, because you're understanding how that criminal system works. And it is referred to, it is obstruction of justice, because the P.O.C. is underway, period. The P.O.C. is ongoing while you're calling the police because as you are monitoring, you know exactly what I'm monitoring. And as I document other third parties, you're monitoring with those third parties. You're sitting in the dark in the street while the state is engaging in this ongoing impossible lie activity. All of this is that which I'm surrounding you while you then engage in calling the police who are monitoring with you to that ongoing terrorism inside of the car. Psychopaths that are arriving in police uniforms, monitoring while the state is aiming directed light inside of the vehicle all night long. Ontario police are already monitoring. So you're talking about what is an opportunity for them to personally come and encounter. They are communicating a threat by virtue of their position, and also understand the the absence of any coincidence while Officer Jay Burnett and takes the opportunity to personally arrive. He is certifying his own federal prosecution. He's going to federal prison. He engaged in kidnapping with an entity. He did so on May 4, 2019. Reference the post that I said that I was going to publish. It is already published on my website. Video documentation of Officer Jay Burnett at third-party facilitating venue Starbucks under the fake sun in directed light at that heavily documented venue is also already published as well. This is understanding how that overall system works. And that is, let me be clear, the United States Postal Service, the third parties that were patrolling, and listen to the helicopter. That's P.O.C. All right, and that's what that third party is engaging in monitoring with while this ongoing system is underway, and that is exactly why she's going to federal prison. Alrighty? Understanding what Ovid Family Community Library is doing while the P.O.C. is underway. You're stalking in a bathroom. You're a sex offender. That's why directed light is there. And you're also engaging in the pattern of conduct with the entity that is stalking by helicopter, stalking with an engineered light for purposes of monitoring with communication devices, stalking with those demons who I read their license plate one after another. Let me be clear, every single last one of them are monitoring on an ongoing basis. This is criminal summoning by an entity. That third party in particular, as I capture her image, as I capture her license plate, as I capture her voice on audio, she's going to federal prison. All right, you want to call the cops while the cops are already monitoring? That's malice. All right, that's a setup for engaging in what is kidnapping. All right, escalating a non-situation. And why? Because you're engaging in surveillance and you don't want that to be known. That's the government. That's P.O.C. It is 8:58 p.m. and that is the state flying over by helicopter, just like I documented at inside of the plaza, and I showed you, and that's already published on my website as well. That's P.O.C. Because I read 8NNF, but the other license plate is also where they hopped out of. This is license plate 8NNF160. And I want to read BM60K59, which is a paper plate helicopter activity. And this is the pattern of conduct that's underway while you engage in what is criminal summoning. All right. Criminal summoning serves the ongoing pattern of conduct for what is means of harassment, intimidation, and also kidnapping. All righty. It is currently 8:59 p.m. That is P.O.C. This Minion Crossing Path. License 7XWE505. License plate 8VBG528. And again, the Avila Gerber and Burnett, you're talking about what is sexual molestation. They're touching while they're stalking. These are demons, all right? You're talking about what is the P.O.C. They already know that I'm in the vehicle. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct of surveillance. That is the ongoing pattern by demons to touch with light, and doing so under what is the form. There is no form. The form is that you are engaging in presence on behalf of a third party that has summoned you, which is facilitation. Again, reference the federal policy that I advocate, as this is the heavily repeated pattern of conduct while you are documenting state surveillance and terrorism. It is currently 9 p.m. and that document, again, that policy that I advocate is referred to as systematic infliction of inhumane suffering. And this is that which is speaking to what is necessary federal policy where the government is engaging in what is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring. And it is a demonic system. These are demons that are engaging in this criminal activity of placing an American citizen under surveillance. And it is also terrorism while they are of that demon possession. It is currently 9:01 p.m. and that is P.O.C.